And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on tonight, all over the internet, all over mainstream media, all over everywhere. The Federales raided Project Veritas, well, at least some of their contributors, some of their journalists. They raided Project Veritas over the Ashley Biden diary. I guess that means that the diary is legitimate. They were trying to say, the diary is fake. It comes from Eastern Europe and Russia. It's right-wing propaganda. Well, obviously, it's not. And the material inside the diary was pretty gross. We'll get to that in a minute. Also, shout out to the super cringe, beyond cringe Microsoft employees introducing themselves in really weird ways, giving way too much information. We'll talk about that as well. Shout out to our guy, Aaron Rodgers, for holding his ground on the whole vax situation, doing what's best for him. If you want to get that shot, go out there and get it. If you don't want to get it, then don't get it. And I support him in his stance. Also, there was a stampede at a rap concert. Did you guys see that? 8 people died. And a bunch of more stuff happened. We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, the vax mandate that Joe Biden put out there has been temporarily halted by a federal judge. Is it going to get halted all the way? A Democratic governor from Kansas came out and said that he's against it. So who knows what's going to happen? We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you enjoy what you have heard thus far, if you enjoy the channel in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to me on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Apple, iTunes, etc., please give me a 5-star rating, a review, a like, a comment, whatever you care, whatever you can on those particular platforms. I'd most certainly appreciate it. And of course, shout out to auto sponsors. Shout out to bhedesigns.com to make these beautiful handmade wooden flags that are right behind me. Everywhere I go, a lot of my channels, like if somebody posts a reaction to me and say, hey man, those flags in the beautiful, those flags in the back are beautiful. Where do you get them from? I say bhedesigns.com. The link for that is always in the description box below. Check them out right now. I think these are the large size. If you just want to point of reference, and I think they're semi-gloss. Okay, you can get these exact ones or ones of your very own, customized, prefab, whatever you want. They got them, bhedesigns.com. Also, shout out to patriotpost.us. If you're looking for a real trusted source of news, information, iPads, all that good stuff, go to patriotpost.us right now. Really good guys out here in Tennessee, been around for a long time. The link for them will be in the description box below. Also, shout out to me, shout out to myself, ablmerch.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more. I need more of all that stuff on there, but that's fine. Check them out every day whenever you get a chance. ablmerch.com. That is A-B as in boy, L as in Larry, MERCH.com. And of course, shout out to AnthonyBLogan.com. That's my website. You can find my email, my snail mail, my social media, my Facebook, Twitter, etc. on that particular website. And for each article, for each video, I write an article. And in each article, I have sources. So whenever anybody says, hey, ABL, your sources don't match up, your information is incorrect, my information is never incorrect. Whatever I say on this channel, I'm right. It could be my opinion, and I preface it that way. But when it comes to the facts, I'm always 100% correct because I do my due diligence. And if I don't know, I say I don't know. If I don't know, I'll say, here's my opinion, here's my viewpoint. But my sources are always in the articles on my website. Again, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. All right, so let's get straight to it. We're going to get to the Federales and Ashley Biden and the Microsoft employees. Where am I going to start? I think I want to start with the vax mandate from Biden, and then I'm going to get into some other stuff with the vax and whatnot. Let's start first with the vax mandate from Biden. Now, I guess the vax mandate is going to be enforced or carried out some kind of way by OSHA. It's not the safety people that come around when, okay, you got a dump truck and people not wearing hard hats. Isn't it OSHA to come by and say, hey, man, you got to put your hard hat on, put your seatbelt on, put your high-vis vest on? Isn't that those guys? I'm not really sure. But regardless of what, I think OSHA are going to be the ones that enforce this. And it was funny. I saw an article from The Hill, and they were trying to single out Newsmax for requiring their employees to get the vax. But what they didn't say in the headline, at least, what they did say in the article, to their credit a little bit, but in the headline, it made it seem like Newsmax was just wanting to do that on their own. But in reality, it's OSHA that's saying that they have to go out there and get that. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and go to this particular article right here. I think I could pull it up so we can get some clarity and a little bit of context behind what I'm talking about as far as the vax mandates and OSHA and whatnot. So let's go to the clip. Give me 1 sec, not clip, pardon me, just the website here. This is thehill.com, and let's put it on the screen right quick. Matter of fact, hold on. Can we do this? Let's try this. Okay, I got a new way. There we go. Perfect. All right, so it says Newsmax says it will implement vaccine requirement. That's what it says right here, but this headline is very misleading because what's happening here is that OSHA are requiring people to get this. So, okay, it says it right here. The email noted that the company is implementing the mandate due to the Occupational Health and Safety Administration. That's what I said, the safety guys, OSHA rules, the outlet reported. The Biden administration published a mandate on Thursday setting up to the January vaccination deadline. The mandate applies to companies with at least 100 employees. And then it says to ensure that we are in compliance, we require that all vaccinated employees submit a copy of the vaccination card. But you can also, what they're not saying in here also, let me go back up a little bit. It says, according to Mediaite, which obtained a copy of the email sent to employees, Newsmax told personnel they have to be fully vaccinated by January 4th or subject themselves to weekly testing. So you can get the vax or do the test. And that's because the federales came in through OSHA and they're trying to enforce this particular mandate on employees. So that's kind of what's going on right there. Now, this action is not, again, it's not specific to Newsmax. It makes for, a spicy headline. Oh, Newsmax, they're conservative outlet. They want the vax too. They don't want the vax. They're just trying to comply with the federales because if you don't comply, you're talking about tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe into the millions of dollars, perhaps in fines. And at a certain point, you just really can't afford that. And I'm not quite sure how much the testing costs. I'm not sure if the employees got to do the test or if it's Newsmax that does the test. And I'm not sure how long you can test before it's only vax. Because it's a lot of squirrely rules like that. They'll say, oh, well, it's not that bad. You can get the vax or get tested. But what they may not say in the headline, what they may not say in the article, what could be buried beneath thousands of pages of text is that after a certain period of time, there won't be any exception to get tested every week. You got to get the vax, period. Which is dumb because, they're doing boosters. They already got booster number 4. They already got the 4th shot rolled out. So, if you get vaxxed once, at a certain point, it's going to wear off. So what's the point of doing it? If you got vaxxed in March, it's already worn off from what they say. They say it lasts about 8 months. So it's pretty much already a wrap right now. So why would you be required to get the vax in January 2022? I just don't understand. It's the dumbest thing. Or not even get it, but what if you have already had it a year ago? It's not even going to be valid anymore. So the whole thing is just dumb. But apparently a judge went ahead and blocked that. Let me try to find that right quick. See, federal judge blocked Biden mandate. And let's see it right here. So yeah, federal court blocks Biden administration's vaccine mandate. This is on Politico. Let me get to the reveal window again. So you can see it right here. Federal court blocks Biden administration's vaccine mandate. It says states of Texas, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Utah are among the plaintiffs. So this is temporarily, though. They may not last for forever. I'm not really sure how long it's going to last, but as of right now, the mandate has been blocked. And again, I don't know how long it's going to last or what, but we'll see. We shall see. It says the federal court in Louisiana has blocked the Biden administration's mandate that millions of workers get vaccinated against the virus will be tested weekly, ruling in a suit filed by several states, companies, and conservative religious groups. So it wasn't just states, it was companies, religious groups, a lot of people. And it said that was the New Orleans-based Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. Okay, and here's a quote: because the petitions give cause to believe there are grave statutory and constitutional issues with the mandate is hereby stayed pending further action by this court. So basically, it's just put on the shelf. They might be able to bring it back. It's a lot of back and forth court action, but they might be able to bring it back. Who knows? But for right now, they've blocked it in the federal court. I think ultimately it's going to get shot down. Ultimately, it'll get shot down because you're violating people's rights. What they're trying to do by requiring OSHA to enforce this on employees that work for a company that has more than 100 employees is that they're trying to make everyone get it without making everybody get it. What they probably want to do is just stop you on the street and jab you in the arm. We'll talk about jabbing in the arm or in the neck or whatever a little bit later. But they want to do that to you, but they can't do that. They can't just say, okay, random person, pull over. Where's your vax card? You don't have one? Okay, take the shot right now. They can't do that because that'd be violating your rights. But what they think they can do is make your job make you get it. And if the job doesn't want to do it, then the job will face financial hardship to the point where the job may go under. So it's like, what do? Do you force your employees to get this thing? Or do you just lose your shirt, lose your business, got to sell your business, close, move on? So then all those jobs go away. It's just kind of a weird thing. Okay. And then it's going to set up people to go against their coworkers. If you have 90% of your workforce that are vaxxed and 10% don't want to get it, and the business decides to fight it, or they might go under, that 90% are going to be mad at the 10% that don't have it. We're the majority, we rule, but the majority don't rule over my body. This is truly a case of my body, my choice. It ain't like being pregnant with a baby, because that baby, the goo goo gaga inside you, is not your body. That is a separate body. Okay. You don't name yourself twice. You understand what I'm saying? I have a name. If I was a young lady and I was pregnant, the baby has a name as well. It's two different people. It's not your body. Yes, the baby's inside your body, but when you have a newborn baby, the baby's inside your house, the baby's on your arm. That doesn't mean that the baby has no rights as a human being. You understand? But that's a different story. And I'm going to go down the rabbit hole right now, so I digress. The whole point is that the vax mandate from the federal level has been paused for now, but it could come back. And I think ultimately it's going to be a big court fight, a court battle over whether this whole thing is applied. Now, as far as Kyrie Irving, remember the basketball player out there in New York City? I'm going to get to Aaron Rodgers a little bit later. But Kyrie Irving was subject to a vax mandate in New York City. And he refused to get the vax, which means the Brooklyn Nets are not going to play him. They're going to pay him some of the money, half of the money he's going to get, but they're not going to play him. So for this year, he was scheduled to make $32 million. $32 million. But if he misses all 82 games regular season, he'll lose about half of that. So he'll probably make about $17 million this year, even if he doesn't play a game. He might not get on the basketball court at all. No crossover, no dribble, no jump shot, no layups, no dunks, no nothing all year, all 82 games. And he still might pocket $17 million. Now, that's a lot of money. That's a whole heap of money. I never seen that much cash at one point in my life ever. But I think $32 million is a lot more than $17 million. So, of course, he wants to play. He wants to go out there and get that money. And that's definitely a big sacrifice. But still, he's still able to make plenty of money. Now, the new mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, the black man, blackity black, Brett, woke all this and that. And the third, it was promised for him a little bit when it comes to Kyrie Irving and other people that live in the city that are under the vax mandate. And the promise was he said that he's going to quote unquote revisit the vax mandate come January. Now, that's not really close to now, but I guess it kind of is, probably about 2 months. That's still a long time. I mean, if you are off the job for that long, or if you went ahead and retired, or you want to retire, that's, a long ways away. But regardless of what's going on, he's going to revisit this whole situation come January. However, he was on TV and kind of walked that back. Let me see if I can find that right quick. He kind of walked it back, but I'm not really sure. I mean, it kind of remains to be seen. This is part of the reason why people say, you know what, don't quit your job. If they put you on indefinite leave or something like that, keep the job, go work somewhere else, but still stay on the payroll because you might be able to come back. Hold on. Now, let's see. Here it is right here. Okay, so this is on ESPN.com. Let me get a second. So it says New York City Mayor-elect Eric Adams puts onus on NBA Nets Kyrie Irving to come up with a resolution amid unchanged vax mandate. So I think it was an interview. It might have been on CNN with Wolf Blitzer or somebody. And he was like, well, we're not going to change that anytime soon. Let me see if I can find a specific quote. Here it is. It says, New York City is not going to change their rule. That's a quote. It says Adams said that in an interview on CNN. And then another quote says, and again, it is up to the NBA and Kyrie to come to a full understanding on how to keep him on the Nets and continue to look at all of our athletes that are coming here. Again, I think the NBA and Kyrie are going to come to a conclusion on this. Okay. And it says Adams did not elaborate on how the NBA and Irving can find a way for the point guard to play in New York City if he remains unvaccinated, since the league is abiding by the city's protocol. Exactly. I'm not really sure why he would say the Nets and Kyrie got to come to a conclusion, because it's not the Nets and Kyrie that have the problem. It's New York City that has a problem. The only reason why Kyrie Irving is not playing NBA basketball is because of New York City and their vax mandate. That's it. So I'm not really sure what Eric Adams is going to do. I don't know. And it was crazy to see a vax mandate protest at Eric Adams' office, like right when he got in. It's like, why are you protesting the guy you just voted for? You voted for the guy at like 70% or more. Why are you protesting him right now? You might have voted for the other guy, the red beret guy. Vote for that dude rather than Eric Adams. You know he was going to just keep everything the way it was. But we'll see, because he first said that we're going to revisit it come January. Now he's saying that, well, the city ain't going to change their vax mandate, so they got to figure it out. I'm not quite sure if that was a proper context. Maybe he was speaking about for the time being. But we'll see come January if what he initially said is going to come to fruition or if it's not. So we'll see. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to pull it up right here. Hold on. Eric Adams, vaccine mandate, January. Let me see. Okay, now they're not even showing that. Now on this website called the Nets Wire, it says, right, this is like, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Here it is. So on this website, it says Eric Adams says he'll quote unquote revisit vaccine mandate, then says rule won't change. So it's like, which one is it? Are you going to revisit it in January, like you said at the beginning, or is it not going to change ever? Are you going to keep it on the books forever and until like the end of time, until the end of man? That's my question. If there's a vaccine mandate, how long is it going to be on the books? In perpetuity? For as long as we all live, for as until the sun don't shine no more, until the rain stops falling. Like, what's going on with all these mandates? It's so stupid. Because again, the vax allegedly doesn't even last that long. It allegedly lasts about 6-7 months, maybe 2 months, 3 months, if it works at all. And it doesn't even stop transmission. What's the point? This is so stupid. You get people losing out on money, millions of dollars. Restaurants going under, people not working, the welfare state expanding. It took 1 year for the welfare state to expand and entrench. People don't want to work right now because of the welfare state expanding. There's some of the vax mandate stuff that could be affecting it, but that's not really the problem. That's not really the problem. The problem is people are happy at home doing nothing, even if they make less than what they made before. because it's easy to stay at home and chill rather than going out there working really hard to get money. Why go to this particular place where you breaking your back for like 45 grand a year when you can make almost the equivalent of that by being at home? Or if not the equivalent, you can still make plenty of money. You might got a whole football team of kids. You getting paid for those. It's crazy how the welfare state has expanded. It's really a mess. But hey, man, this is what happens. And anybody could have said it. And I feel like it's kind of done on purpose because they keep saying fight for 15, raise the minimum wage. This inflationary stuff of printing all this monopoly money, this has made these companies raise their wages because they have to be able to compete with the federales. They keep printing money just consistently. The market becomes flooded with money. Everybody has money, so everybody can pay the higher prices. Therefore, they're going to raise the prices and raise the wages. You made a lateral move. Yeah, you got a raise on your job. Yeah, you make more money. Yeah, you were able to get hired at a higher rate than you would have before, but you're paying double the price for a Thanksgiving turkey. You're paying double the price for your gasoline at the pump. You're paying double for everything. You're getting paid double, but you're paying double at the same time. So this whole thing is dumb. I hope that it comes to an end sooner than later. And you know what? That's part of the reason why there was a red wave all over the country in these 2021 elections. In Jersey, there was a red wave. You got a truck driver that won. Did you see my man? They were like, hey, man, once you get to Newark or Trenton or whatever, what you going to do? Man, I don't know. We're going to figure it out. We're going to fix it while we flying. We're going to get there some kind of way. How we going to get there? I don't know. But, hey, shout out to my man for at least running and trying to make a difference. He might not know how we're going to get to the destination, to the promised land, but he's going to try to get us there. You know, you're a truck driver, man. You figure it out. You might be kind of lost in them dark roads at night, but you figure out a way to get back to your base. So, yeah, there was a red wave all over the country because of what's happening here. But I'm going to go ahead and get back to the point. I got way off track. And you guys are the best audience in the world. Thank you for being here. If you enjoy what you're hearing so far, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And where was I at? Okay, let's go to, matter of fact, let's go to Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to go straight to Aaron Rodgers. Shout out to my man, Aaron Rodgers. This was very well said from Aaron Rodgers. They kind of shadow banned that video a little bit, but if you've not seen that, watch it after you get done here because what he said on the Pat McAfee show was right on point. And before we get into it, he made a point about not wanting to be political and not wanting to go on Fox, not wanting to go on CNN. He says politics is a sham. Politics is not really real. I understand that point of view of not wanting to be political, of thinking that politics aren't really real, but politics are most certainly real. Politics are real. Now, should they be real? I don't know, but they are, because the reason why California is the way that it is and Texas is not like California is because of politics. When things change, it's because of politics. And not just politics itself, just in isolation, but the people who want things to be a certain way politically. You understand? Politics like having an extensive welfare state. Politics like allowing drugs to be all over the place. Politics like allowing homeless people to camp, which ain't nothing but just a bunch of dope fiends being able to have these little drug dens all over the place, the little heroin huts and meth huts, meth forts, fentanyl forts. That's what's going on with all these homeless people, keeping it all the way real. If you are a homeless guy living in your car, kind of off the grid, not really out in the open like that, that's different. That's an actual homeless person, hard on luck or whatever. But if you got a tent surrounded by filth, you are a dope fiend. And that is 90% of what you see out there in the street. If you're living on the left coast, California, that is 99.99% of all the homeless. They're dope fiends, period. We saw the mayor of San Francisco, London Breed, look a dope fiend in his eyes as he was preparing a needle. Matter of fact, I have that video. I do have that video. I'm going to put it right here. This is my video actually from back, when was this? About 3 years ago, July 19th, 2018. So You see her right there in the Mao Zedong pantsuit. That's London Breed, the mayor of San Fran. Remember, she went to Raphael Sadiq concert talking about, oh, this concert is great. No, I didn't have a mask on, although we have a mask mandate that I institute, that I enforce. No, I didn't have a mask on. I ain't worried about that. I'm partying anyway. I digress. So that's her right there in the Mao Zedong suit. And then watch this. I'm going to turn this sound off because that's not necessary right now. But she's walking daytime in San Francisco with people, news cameras everywhere. Here's a guy. You see it. This is broad daylight outside in San Francisco. He has a needle right in his hands. Right there. He's preparing to shoot. Right in the open. And then she is right there with cameras, news cameras, NBC locally. And then watch. You see him playing with it. And then, so he's preparing the needle, getting ready to shoot. Here she comes. Looks him dead in the face. Dead in the face. This is what's happening with the homeless problem in California. Okay? San Fran, Bay Area, LA. That's what's happening. So I feel my man Aaron Rodgers when he says that politics is a sham and it's not really. But I mean, come on. At a certain point, it does matter. It shouldn't matter when you're talking about things like the vax. But unfortunately, the way that things are nowadays, these situations have become political because politics and money have merged. Okay, but I digress. Let's get back to it. I digress. Let's get back to it. Oh yeah, I thought I was playing. I got the receipts. Like, I don't make stuff up. Don't be shocked. Oh, I got more. That's nothing right there. That's tip of the iceberg. That's tip of the iceberg. Okay. If you're new here, welcome, because there's a whole lot more that I have seen that you may not have seen. I've seen some things I can't even put on YouTube that you really don't want to see. All right. Oh yeah, Seattle's also messed up. Seattle's messed up. That's why I call it the left coast. Okay. It's on the left side, but it is far left and what they do politically. That's why politics matters. It shouldn't, but it does. So let's go to my man Aaron Rodgers. I'm gonna try to find some of these here. Again, he was on the Pat McAfee show. And by the way, I'm a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. Well, I'm not a fan of the Packers. I just like Aaron Rodgers personally because of what he said here and as his skill as a quarterback. You know, I'm a Vikings fan, so that ain't really going to work as far as me being a fan. Like, yay, go Packers. It ain't that. So don't get that twisted. But I respect Aaron Rodgers, put it to you like that, for what he did here and also for his play on the field. Okay. Now, hold on. Let me find a clip I'm talking about where he was saying, I'm gonna find the main thing. Oh, so here is the clip that really got him upset. This is what really got him triggered beyond belief. Okay, let's go here. Let's get a little bit of sound, shall we? That'll work.
8 hours in, and I consulted with a now.
Hold on, let me go back. So you heard the first part.
8 hours in.
You said he was in 48 hours. 48 hours in. I can't go all the way back to the beginning, but he was 48 hours into his being virus positive.
8 hours in, and I consulted with a now good friend of mine, Joe Rogan, after he got COVID, and I've been doing a lot of the stuff that he recommended in his podcasts and, you know, on the phone to me. And I'm going to have the best immunity possible now based on the 2.5 million person study from Israel that people who get COVID and recover have the most robust immunity. And I'm thankful for people like Joe stepping up and using their voice. I'm thankful for my medical squad. And I'm thankful for all the love and support I've gotten. But I've been taking monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, zinc, vitamin C and D, HCQ, and I feel pretty incredible.
Okay, so
they're not going to like that. They are not going to like that. And you know what? One thing, without showing every clip from the Pat McAfee interview, one thing that Aaron Rodgers said is that it's not necessarily the reason why the media are against all of what he named, HCQ, IVM, the reason is because it's not necessarily because Trump said it was cool. That could be part of it. For that's the sleep take. The woke take is that they're cheap and generic because they're past the point of being able to patent it. They're out of patent, so they're generic. They can be made by anybody. You can get them cheap, generic, just for pennies on a dollar. It's not a lot of money to be made in that. But then when you have this new vax or this new pill that's done by Pfizer, who we know sponsor everything, and all the other big pharma companies sponsor everything, there's money to be made. Not trillions, but close to trillions. Definitely billions to be made. Billions to be made. Okay, you're talking about careers, new companies, all of that created off of this tragedy. That's what's going on. That's why there's a kickback to the so-called anti-vaxxers. And he's not even an anti-vaxxer. He's just saying that he supports bodily autonomy. That is the main issue here. Bodily autonomy. All right. He says that you should be able to control your own body, that's facts. That's 100% facts. Okay. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find something else here. But yeah, the Joe Rogan thing that got people upset. 100%. Oh, here's what I wanted to show you. What I was just talking about as far as the big pharma and whatnot and their whole dog in the fight. Give me 1 second.
If you're a healthy person who has a strong immune system, keep building your immune system and do what you got to do. Do what's best for your body. But that opinion, doesn't work because we've given away billions of dollars to these pharmaceutical companies now for these vaccines, and it's not going to stop. Merck's coming out with a pill. Pfizer's coming out with a pill that's going to help. It's basically the expensive versions of ivermectin. Why do people hate ivermectin? Not just because Trump championed it, because it's cheap, generic. Can't make any money off it. But it's been used 1 billion times in India. Go look at that research. What's going on over there? If you're a healthy person.
Simple. So simple. I mean, people don't want to talk about that, though, because now you're starting to mess up the bag. It's like, all right, Aaron, you want to do your own thing. You want to, take this horse paste or whatever, the fish tank. Remember the whole fish tank cleaner hoax? Remember that? You want to take horse dewormer, fish tank cleaner, okay. But don't mess up the bag for us, okay? Don't blow the whole. Don't blow our cover now. We trying to get this money. That right there is probably why they want to now try to cancel Aaron Rodgers. I think he had a health company endorsement. They canceled that. I'm not sure what the company was, but they canceled that. Because it's not. You can't say stuff like that, man. You messing up the whole industry. We got to be able to get money. All right. So, yeah, shout out to my man, Aaron Rodgers. Shout out to him. Hey, and again, I'm a Vikings fan, so I never thought I'd be on here, like, singing Aaron Rodgers' praises, but it is what it is, man. I give credit where credit is due. Right? Oh, here's another one. Here's a good clip. I've not watched this yet, but judging by the caption, it appears to be a good one. Let's go ahead and roll it right here. So let's go ahead and hit this.
I hope that we can take a step back, quit lying, quit with the witch hunt and the canceling, and realize this is a conversation to be had, not a controversy. And let's move this forward with some love and connection. That's what we need in this world. This things that we don't agree with or understand. When we don't agree or understand with each other, let's communicate instead of initially just canceling someone, silencing someone. Like, that gets us nowhere. Like, that's what I did when I started my research. I put every single bias to the side and think about, okay, what is going to be best for my body, and listen to everybody on every side of every opinion. That's the only way to truly learn things without bringing your own personal, bias into things. You want to live in an echo chamber? Like, go for it. But that's not a way to move society forward. That's not a way to move your own consciousness forward. You got to be able to reach across the aisle and talk to people you don't agree with. I've talked to many people who are vaxxed, and we've had incredible conversations on both sides. And I appreciate hearing their insight. I made a decision that was in the best decision of my body. And if you have a problem with that, there's nothing that I can say to you other than this was my decision. This was best for my body. And I'm sorry you feel that way.
So eloquently said. So eloquently said. Bring my man Aaron Rodgers back to Jeopardy. Bring him back to Jeopardy. Let him host. I don't care, man. Let him host. I don't care if he got a corny football pun or whatever. Every episode, that's fine, man. Let that man host. Mine Bialik, it's been a nice run, man. Go back to Blossom or whatever you're doing. But let my man Aaron Rodgers get on Jeopardy and host the show. Okay? That's what we need. More of that. Just basic common sense stuff, man. And you know, it's to the point nowadays where you can't even speak your mind properly. You gotta go through all these, you gotta just speak so strangely and unnaturally, right? It's crazy. That's all that it is. All right. So yeah, shout out to Aaron Rodgers. That's all. All right, but let's go ahead and get to some more here. We got a whole lot going on. Let's see how they try to cancel Aaron Rodgers. Oh, and before I move on, I just want to say the NFL protocol is making no sense. Now, if I'm wrong, any of you guys that may know about NFL football, please let me know. But the NFL protocols for vaxxed and unvaxxed don't make any sense. I think the only thing is that the rules are meant to identify you as an unvaxxed person, but not to provide any level of safety. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it right quick. Let's see. So I think if you hold on. Okay, so here's some of the protocols right here. I'm gonna put them on the screen. All right. So matter of fact, let's get it in a bigger window so you can zoom in. Okay, so if you're fully vaxxed, no testing required every day. But if you are not vaxxed, you got to get tested every day. Fully vaxxed, no mask required at the facility or during travel. If you're not vaxxed, you got to wear a mask all the time. You can pretty much do whatever you want if you have the vax, right? No travel restrictions, no quarantine required. You can eat in the cafeteria. But if you aren't vaxxed, here's something right here. If you aren't vaxxed, you got to eat physically distanced in the meal room. May not eat with teammates. Staff must grab and go. No meals in the cafeteria. That sounds very familiar, doesn't it? It sounds very, very familiar. I'm not going to say what it sounds like, but y'all can figure it out for me. You see, all this stuff is just to segregate you based upon your vaccination status. And then my question is, if you catch the vaccine, if you catch the virus while fully vaxxed, then what? Can you still do all that stuff right there? Can you still just do whatever you want? No. I think what happens is you have to get tested, I think, for 48 hours. And if you don't have it, you can come back to resume normal workout, normal team activities. But if you don't get tested every day, how they gonna know you got the virus? Anyway, but if you are not vaxxed and you get the virus, then there's an automatic 10-day kind of like suspension. I'm not sure if you get suspended. I think you just are pretty much barred from the team for 10 days. None of this stuff makes any sense at all. It just doesn't, because the thing is, you can still spread it. So this is just not scientific. All it's meant to do is just identify you as an unvaxxed person. So I think Aaron Rodgers just didn't want to go through all of that. So he was like, you know what? What I'm going to do is communicate with the NFL and have my doctor put me on a rigorous regimen to have my immunity levels rise up. So when they asked Aaron Rodgers some months ago, was he vaxxed? He was like, yeah, I'm immunized. Now, it doesn't mean that he was vaxxed. It means he was immunized. Or he had gone through therapy with the NFL, knowing what was going on to become immunized in a certain way. So now that he has the virus, which can happen regardless, whether you get the shot or not, he'd probably be better off to deal with it. And he has what Joe Rogan had, so he probably beat it in a very short period of time. And then the thing about it, they say don't consult Joe Rogan. He's no doctor. But who is a doctor? Anthony Fauci? What kind of doctor is he? Dr. Doom? Dr. Kevorkian? Not a very good doctor at all. The same doctor that said, hey, you know what? Don't wear a mask. It won't block it. It might block a droplet there too. That's what he said in the beginning, right? And then he said, nah, wear a mask every day. It's common sense. Then he said, hey, wear 2 masks every day. It's common sense. You know, the more the merrier, to the point where you can't breathe anymore, right? It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Matter of fact, hold on. I got a clip I want to show you guys if I can find it. Y'all give me the fear that has been stoked by the media and these so-called TV doctors or doctors on TV, whatever you want to call them, has been unreal. People are doing things that don't make any sense. People are just freaking out because they are scared. That's what it really boils down to. Hold on. Yeah, okay. I found it. Shout out to millennial Republicans for this one. All right. So what's going on here? Tell me what's happening. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me move myself over here. Tell me what's going on right here. Do you see this? Now, for you guys that are listening to me on the podcast and you can only hear the audio, the caption says this has officially gone too far. And there's a woman that may or not be wearing a mask. I can't really tell. But she has on this big kind of like green parka bubble coat. And she has a dog, some kind of poodle looking dog in a baby stroller, first of all, which is the first red flag. Second red flag is dog has all kind of clothes on and she's trying to place a mask on the dog. Let's roll it. Are you seeing this? Seriously, like, why? What is that going to do for a dog? It's a dog. The dog then probably ate all kind of stuff on the ground. It's been in your garbage. It's been doing a little bit of everything. Why are you putting a mask on a dog? For what purpose? What's the reason? Tell me, explain to me like I'm 5 years old. Just break it down to me and have me just figure that out. Because I don't understand. Do you? Y'all are crazy. Bite her. Y'all are crazy. If that was a big dog that was aggressive, the dog would have just bit straight through that mask like it was a doggy treat, a piece of steak or something. Yeah, where's Peter at? Get Peter on the phone. This is animal abuse. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, everywhere. Let's go to the Federales raiding Project Veritas. Now, this story is interesting because a lot of you guys had some interesting comments. I read the comments occasionally. I don't read all of them, but I do read some just to get the kind of vibe, just to get the vibe of the room, basically. Now, check it out. Remember the Ashley Biden diary that came out? I'm not sure when that happened, when that actually came out, but it was a while back. Ashley Biden, Hunter Biden's sister, Joe Biden's son, had a diary that she was writing as an adult, I suppose. She had all kind of problems mentally, all kind of just stuff and, accusing family members of abuse and all types of things, right? So she had a diary, and initially people were saying that, this is not real. The Russians put this out, and it was kind of ignored. as, well, maybe that's real, maybe that's not real. But now we know that it's real. Why? Because the federales raided Project Veritas. Matter of fact, here's the clip right here. Not clip, pardon me, just the article on National File. And by the way, the National File, they're the ones who originally published the diary. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But the headline says, bombshell New York Times, FBI confirm legitimacy of Ashley Biden diary published by National File. Right? Now, what happened was Project Veritas got their hands on it first. Although they're not the ones that procured it, and I'll explain. Somebody approached Project Veritas with the diary in hand, like, hey, we have this diary from Ashley Biden. We're trying to release it. What's up? So Project Veritas will know what's going on. This could be a trap from the federales. We got to confirm it. We got to see what's going on. So Project Veritas, what they did was they contacted Ashley Biden's lawyer to see if it was true, if it was false, if it was authentic or inauthentic, but the lawyer refused to respond. So they didn't confirm it one way or the other. Now, Project Veritas then gave the diary to the federales or to the authorities or whoever. Not really sure who they gave it to. Could have been NYPD, could have been local FBI, whoever. But they did not publish it. They did not disseminate it. All they did was just, they were the first ones to receive it. National File published it. Now, I don't know how they got it. Maybe the federales think that Project Veritas gave it to National File to publish, but Project Veritas didn't do it. Project Veritas was approached to do it, but they didn't do it because they didn't know if it was real or fake. Because how do you know that? Here's this random person on the street that says, hey, I got Ashley Biden's diary. What's going on? I don't know what's going on. You could be the feds yourself. You could be the fuzz trying to get me hemmed up. So I'm not going to be able to help you. But regardless, the federales raided Project Veritas contributors' homes. And they raided James O'Keefe, the leader, obviously the founder of Project Veritas. I'm not sure what they're trying to find. Maybe they're trying to find out who gave him the diary. Maybe they want them to snitch and tell who approached them. I'm not really sure what they're trying to find. I've not heard any updates on that, so they probably didn't find anything. But the raid lets us know that this was a legitimate diary, that Ashley Biden did, in fact, have this taken from her. They said it was a burglary or something like that. So we know the contents of the diary are legitimate. We know that it came from Ashley. Now, if you have read the diary, you already know this is some really dark stuff. And we got little babies watching, so I won't get too graphic right now. But just know she's messed up. Drugs and just inappropriate behavior and things that were, childhood trauma, all types of stuff. The same, I'll put it to you like this. Ashley is the girl version of Hunter. And we already know what's going on with Hunter Biden, smoking crack and all kind of weird stuff. We know what he does. She's the girl version of him. Now, you shall know the tree by the fruit that it bears. Ain't that how it goes? Now, if you have the sitting president, Joe Biden, producing these troubled and confused, disturbed children, then what's happening inside the house? What happened inside this man's house when he was raising the kids, while he was around the kids? One piece of her diary that kind of stood out was when she was talking about taking showers with her dad and that it was kind of inappropriate. She said it was inappropriate in her diary. So here's a question to you guys. If you are old enough to take a shower with your dad and know that it's wrong, isn't it wrong? And I never showered with any family member. By the time I got the shower in, rather than taking the bath, I was already about to be middle school age. Let's say like late elementary, early middle is when I started actually, taking the shower, setting it up. Before that, I was just sitting in the tub, taking the bath like other little kids would do. Okay. I wasn't, turning the shower knobs on, doing all that, zestfully clean, Miss Tight, I wasn't doing all that at 8 years old. I was still taking the bath. But one thing I was not doing was taking the bath with my dad or anything like that. If you're a little kid, you take a bath with your, with cousins and Your mom might give you a bath if you were a little boy, like below 5 years old. But I couldn't see myself at 11 years old in the shower with one of my parents or any family member for that matter. I don't understand what would be the purpose. Somebody was trying to say, oh, well, you never been poor, man. You got to save on water. Please stop. I mean, if you got to save on water that bad to where you got to shower together and you about 13 years old and you're going through puberty and stuff like that, I mean, you about to be homeless. You might as well just go ahead and live on the street, find you a tent and park it, man, at that point. At that point, showering is the last thing on your mind. You're trying to find food for the day. If you have gotten to that point to where you can't even afford 5 minutes of water and a bar of soap, get you some Ivory soap from Wally World and make it happen. Go to the clinic, get you a bar of soap. They used to have bars of soap in the school I used to go to. When I was a kid, they would hand out bars of soap. True talk. Because other things are more important, Jordans and whatnot, but kids coming to school stinking. But anyway, the point is that you can't be that hard up for money to have the excuse of, I took a shower with my dad at 13 because we ain't had no money. I mean, even if that's true, that's not Joe Biden's story. Joe Biden been in office since the 70s, early 70s, 1972. This is before the kids were born. Ashley and Hunter are like younger than me, I think. Well, I know Ashley is. I'm not sure about Hunter. Matter of fact, let's see. How old is Ashley? Ashley's 40. So she's born in 81. And Hunter is 51. So when Hunter was a baby, 2 years later, his dad was in Congress as a senator. You got plenty of money. So the poverty is because you're not really trying to hear. Why are you showering with your dad when your dad got plenty of money when money's no object? At an advanced age to where you think something's wrong with it. You think that it was inappropriate. I know when you were a little boy, that's nothing wrong with that. When you were a little kid and you in a tub with your cousins and whatnot, playing with toys and stuff, you were a little kid, that's not nothing. But 11 years old in a tub with your dad or something? No. Shower? No. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it. It's just unnecessary. It's not even a matter of anything else other than being unnecessary. And then for it to be cross sex like that, your male dad with your no. So what's going on? And we see a pattern with Joe Biden. We know how he's a creep. We've seen him on videotape, touching on little kids, kissing women inappropriately. Women are getting really awkward and they're around him. We've seen that over and over again. I saw him recently. There was, he was doing something. He was in the crowd and he saw a little kid. He did a beeline straight to the kid, touching him and stuff. I'm like, this guy can't control himself. He's clearly a creep. Anybody gonna say nothing? I guarantee you this. I'll put it to you this way. The contents of Ashley Biden's diary would not be kind of poo-pooed and hushed away the way they are if her name was Tiffany Trump. Oh, no. Oh, can you imagine if it was Tiffany Trump with that kind of diary about Donald Trump? They were saying that Trump complimenting his daughter was creepy. Oh, she's pretty and stuff like that. That's creepy. But taking the shower with an 11-year-old daughter, and y'all both are nude. That ain't no problem. That's fine. Oh, okay, cool, right on. But regardless of what's going on, we now know that the diary is real and the laptop that Hunter Biden had are also real. Hunter got on TV talking about, well, I don't know. It might be mine. It might not be mine. I don't really know. I have no way of knowing. I was like, man, really? You think you're going to tell me that with a straight face? That you don't know if that's you on tape, smoking crack? That's not you? Oh, okay, cool. So that's somebody else who looks just like you with your same laptop in Wilmington, Delaware, out of everywhere in the world. Out of everywhere in the world, Wilmington, Delaware is a laptop with a guy who looks just like you smoking crack. You were in the military and got kicked out for doing drugs, smoking crack. You're on videotape on a laptop doing the exact same thing. And then at the same time, while all this is going on, you on the board of Burisma Holdings getting paid $80,000 a month. And then your dad is going to Ukraine, putting pressure on the Ukrainian government to call off the prosecutor that was looking into Burisma Holdings. It's so openly corrupt. It's ridiculous. But I think what's going on with Hunter and Joe and whatnot, you see the swamp for what it is. You see a window into the swamp and how ridiculous it is. If you ever seen the movie Devil's Advocate, that's DC, the political side of DC. Watch that movie. It explains it all. It explains it all. It really does. I know it's fiction and whatnot, but there's a lot of truth in that movie, just how the culture is. Northern Virginia too, to a certain extent. But yeah, so what are they going to do with Joe? Is he going to stay in there? Probably. They probably try to get him out of office for some other kind of reason. You know, I heard that he farted during one of these conferences. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Not even that he doodled on himself. I'm talking about the fart. Hold on. I know that was a crazy shift. But I'm gonna go ahead and find it. Okay, yeah. So here's the video, not video, pardon me. Here's the clip from the article, pardon me, from the Sun. It says President Trump. I don't understand why they got to put Trump in there. I mean, Trump's gone, but anyway, it's the TDS. Camilla hasn't stopped talking about Joe Biden 78 breaking wind during COP26 chat. So apparently he farted like right there in front of who is that? Is that Princess Camilla? Oh, that's just a Cornwall. Whoever that is. I'm not sure about all these random European titles. That's just a Cornwall. What's that? What's a Cornwall? But he had a long fart. And here's the subhead. That's just a Cornwall hasn't stopped talking about the 78-year-old's long fart. That's a quote, long fart, as it was impossible to ignore. And at a certain point, if you're 78 years old and you farting like that, there might be a little bit extra coming out. That might not just be air. That might be a little something else, if you catch my drift. No pun intended. But it says on the subhead here, Joe Biden reportedly broke wind loudly while making small talk with Camilla Parker Bowles. So you just talking, you know, shooting the breeze. How's everything going in UK? How's how's Cornwall going? Is that a game you can play with buddies? And then all of a sudden you get this long fart. It's like 20 seconds. I mean, how embarrassing is that, really, for the president to be doing something like that? If you got to go to the bathroom, do that before you get here, man. You can't be on stage farting in front of world dignitaries. That's not the wave at all. Okay? Not in the least bit. But again, if he's going to be out of office, it'd be for that kind of trivial things, not for the damaging the country, not being able to get anything done, abusing his daughter allegedly from her diary that she wrote as an adult. But we'll see. Either way it goes, I have the article that features the diary in it on my website, anthonyblogan.com. If you go to the article where they're talking about where I say the feds rate Project Veritas contributors, it's in there. You check it out on National File. I think it's the second link. It says full release. Ashley Biden diary reveals child SEX trauma, drug abuse, resentment for Joe. It's 112 pages. And I think the most recent entry was like 2019. So this is not like her as a kid. This is like an adult diary. Okay. She got all kind of problems. The same as Hunter. Again, this is what you produce as a parent that has problems yourself. All right. When you got two kids that are like this, something's wrong. Something happened in the home. And if one of the kids is saying, hey, my dad did something to me, you probably want to listen and pay attention. You know, get your antennas perked up to see what's going on. But you guys are the best audience anywhere. Please give the video a thumbs up if you've not done so already. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And where else we at right now? Let's see. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Did I get everything? Oh, now there was a concert Stampede. This concert Stampede was crazy. RIP to everybody that died. Okay, so there was a concert in Houston called Astro Astro Tour, Astro World, something like that, featuring Travis Scott, a rapper. Now, Travis Scott, well, I think there was going to be a VIP section at the concert, and people, rather than just going up to the thing orderly, they bum rushed the VIP, and there was barriers set up. So what happened was some people got trapped at the barrier, and they couldn't go forward. They were just kind of stuck right there, and people were just still trying to run over them. So, of course, people got trampled. 8 people died as a result of the trampling. And the craziest thing, aside from that, which is crazy, 8 people died in the trampling incident at a concert. Aside from that, somebody got stuck in the neck with a needle. I think the news report said that somebody, quote unquote, went crazy and went around with a needle, just sticking people randomly, trying to inject them with drugs. I think one person did get injected. It might have been a security guard. He got stuck in the neck. The person injected, and the person passed out. Then they had to bring Narcan to the scene. So it probably was fentanyl, heroin, or something like that. I presume it was heroin, because if it was fentanyl, they would have been dead. I mean, if you inject like that, and you probably be dead. But regardless of what's going on, it's crazy. People, where's the sense of I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Where's the decorum? Where's the sense of where's the human nature at? Where's the humanity at? Where is that gone now? Because everybody got so much disposable income from the federales that you could just do whatever you want. That's probably, I think a lot of this money has people that shouldn't be in places where they shouldn't be. Just like the whole airport thing. I want them to raise the cost of airfare, raise it up, because what's happening is people will have so much money, they want to travel. Oh, I want to go to Dubai. I want to go to Miami. I want to go X, Y, and Z place. And people that wouldn't normally travel are on these flights fighting. I'm talking about bare knuckle, wrestling, slamming. And it's like, sir, you can't be fighting on this plane. We're thousands of feet in the air. Sit down on your seat. We can't be doing this. Crossing racial lines, crossing gender lines, LGBT, everybody. It's like a whole big mess. It's ridiculous because of what the government is doing. Now, as far as the Stampede, I mean, it probably was drugs involved. It probably was a whole lot involved. Somebody said that it wasn't a Stampede. I mean, what was it? One thing I do know is that it said there were a bunch of heart attacks. It said it was like 8 heart attacks. Now, I don't know if the heart attacks were caused by the person that was running around with that needle, jabbing people, or what. I have no idea, but I think that might have been caused by the Stampede, because if you're getting crushed and you can't breathe and your heart's not able to pump properly, that'll probably give you a heart attack. And I think that was the cause of death for most people, not necessarily just getting crushed. People did have severe injuries like broken bones and whatnot, but a broken bone may not necessarily kill you, but if you can't breathe and your heart stops working properly, that'll kill you. So yeah, I mean, concerts like that. One thing that I was noticing about Lollapalooza, remember that whole thing where Lori Lightfoot was talking about, okay, we got a mask mandate after the concert is over. I'm like, okay, Lollapalooza, it was a sea of people, thousands of people in Chicago at this concert. I think it was like various kinds of music, rap, rock, country, whatever it was. At Lollapalooza, some of the comments were like, I don't want to be there because of the virus. So I'm like, well, there's a whole lot more going on than that one virus. I'm seeing a bunch of viruses being spread around. You got the big one with the H that's spreading around. People, they got all types of, they stinking. The smell's going to be crazy. You talking about full court basketball times 10,000. No deodorant, just funk, just disgusting smell, right? Just pure filth, stink. It's like, am I in the pig pen or a concert? I can't tell. You got the funk, you got the sweat, all kind of virus. You have a petri dish right there at that concert, okay? Even if it was no Rona, I don't want to be there because of the disgusting environment that exists. The bathrooms are limited. People are urinating. I'm good. I'm totally good. This is worse than one of them little playpens at McDonald's that never ever gets cleaned. The little kids be in there with their diapers overflowing. I'm straight. So I don't want to go to any kind of concert like that. I go to concerts, but I go to nice low-key events, family-friendly. When you got 10,000 hooligans in one little spot, I'm cool. I'm going to go over there and just enjoy my day, all right? I'm not going to be able to do it. And back when I was a youngin', even if it was not for a big crowd like that, I was worried about the gunshots ringing out. So here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to go to a very super crowded event with thousands of people in a little tight space, on drugs, amped up, crazy. Nor do I want to go to a place where I know it's going to be gang activity, people, brandishing weapons, shooting over a pair of stepped-on Jordans. I'm good. Let me go over here with the 45 and up crowd and be chilling. That's where I like to be. Put it to you that way. You're trying to eat. I'm sorry, man. It's not my fault. Blame the white man for that thought that got in my mind. But anyway, you guys are the best audience in the world. Thank you for being here. If you have not liked the video, please do so. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do that as well. And this will be available on your favorite audio streaming platform. So if you get bandwidth issues, you want to hear the whole podcast again, but you don't want to spend so much data, visit this on an audio-only version, and it'll be available starting tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Google Play, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Subscribe to me there. Give me a 5-star rating and all that good stuff. All right, so let's get to the super chats, and then we get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Y'all give me about 10 minutes or so. We're going to get straight to it. And let me go to where the super chats are hiding. So y'all just give me a second, and I'm going to just pull it straight on up. And where we at? Let's go to, hold on one second, supers. And let me see. You make sure I'm in the right place here. Hold on. Okay, I think I'm in the right place. Okay, we good. Thank you to Marquis Starks, who says the fist bump emoji. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Thank you to yourself, who said security said he got stuck in the net. Yeah, I saw that. As far as the Travis Scott situation, yeah, and I think they had to revive him with Narcan, which means that it was an opiate that they put in his neck. And again, if it was fentanyl, he'd probably be dead, because you got that much. Like if it was a needle full of fentanyl, that's a wrap. You can't just, yeah. I'm not sure what it was specifically, but probably some kind of opiate derivative. Thank you to Samuel, who says, also with the fist bump, appreciate you for that. Thank you to Farno Fate, who says, saw a video of Hunter on a couch smoking crack and doing nasty things while MTV playing in the back. It was on Fly Height, taken down 2 hours later. Yeah, I may have seen that same video. Like I said, I've seen a lot of things that I cannot show on the YouTubes, but that's what you get from Joe. Obviously, you get these damaged children. We see what he does. He has not done anything right in his life that I've been able to see. Raising kids, can't do that. Being a senator, what did he do as a senator, really? Aside from just be there, what was his shining accomplishment as a senator? What, a 94 crime bill? Was that it? Like, what did he do that actually made America or Delaware better? Thank you to San Diego Varsity Sports, who says UFC is only professional sport that hasn't caved into left-wing agenda. No forced vaccines. Dana White, alpha like a mug. Oh, I love him. Shout out to him. And there's no big problem with the breakouts and stuff like that, because again, the vax does not even stop transmission. So what's the point in doing it? Yeah, shout out to my man, Dana White. Great executive. Buffalo vs. Windshield says, maybe Biden has a couch and whatnot in his shower. He broke his foot playing with his dog while getting out of the shower. Yeah, exactly. It's like, sir, put your drawers on first, man, before you start playing with the dog. Like, what are you even doing? Weirdo. Anyway, thank you to Giselle Luke, who says, wrap it up with a big pretty bow. Florida Freedom, thank you for that. Thank you to Buck vs. Windshield, who says, maybe the FBI can find some morals in the raid for the diary. We'll see about that. Maybe they could find something better to do than trying to find some girl's diary. How about stopping them illegal aliens from coming across the border? How about stopping them criminal aliens from committing all types of crime and getting them out of the country? Okay. And I feel like it's the federales leadership that's the problem, not necessarily just regular normie agents. Thank you to Fauna Faye, who says, I was watching Fox 29 and a lady said she has health problems and asked if she could get the vax. Doctor on the news lit up and said, no question, get it. It's crazy because you see some doctors that say, nah, it's fine, go ahead and get it. And then some that say, don't get it. And the only ones that get the attention are the ones that say, go ahead and get it. So we know at this point that the media will only highlight what they want you to see. There's no honesty there. Okay. That's called propaganda, not honest and balanced. If somebody said the vax makes sense, they're able to prove it. And if somebody says they don't, I want to show both sides of it so you can see it rather than just one side to fit my narrative. That's why I always place links from all sources on my website, so you're not just reading from one place. I want you to read it and then see what makes sense for you. I give you everything so you can figure it out for yourself. Thank you to Silas Larson, who says, my Johnson & Johnson shot gave me strong fever and hot flashes 14 months after my virus infection. This suggests my immune system gave me strong immunity naturally. There you go. Thank you to Apple, who says, hey, babe, you cheer for the Bucks, but not Packers, Vikings. Why? Well, that's a good question because the Bucks in Milwaukee and Vikings in Minnesota and Packers in Packers in Wisconsin, but not Milwaukee, because the Vikings drafted Randy Moss, and Randy's from Rand, where I was born. My family know him. They know his parents and whatnot. They know his mom, and they know his brother, Eric, and everybody else. So that's why I'm a Vikings fan. And then the Bucks, I became a Bucks fan back in the 90s, early 2000s when they had Ray Allen, Sam Cassell. I like the way they played back in the day. You had and also Glenn Robinson. They had that big three. So I was a fan of the team from the beginning. And then when they got Giannis back in like 2013, I'm like, okay, that's going to be the face of the NBA one day. I saw it back then. And then here we are. So that's why I'm not necessarily a Packers fan, but I'm a Vikings fan. I mean, when Randy did that fake moon to the Packers, I was in this corner. I said, yeah, Randy, go ahead and get him. So I can't be a Packers fan after that when I'm rolling with the Vikings. I can't do it. I watched that game live too. And Joe Buck was like, oh, that's disgusting. I was like, man, stop playing, Joe Buck. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Thank you to Derek Metcalf for the laughing emoji. I appreciate you for that. Glad you enjoyed yourself. Thank you to Michael Guest, who says, let's go, Brandon. Thank you to Angel, who says, hey, ABL, Eric Adams announced he will receive his first 3 paychecks in Bitcoins. Oh, man, do you think this proves the Democratic machine ultimate goal is to collapse the U.S. dollar? I think he's just kind of a nut, really, because why would you do that? That's purely for show. Understand this. That's purely for show. He's going to cash that out. He's going to cash that out because what you going to buy with that? You got to be able to eat at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not a thing that makes any sense. Bitcoin is too volatile for it to be a payment method as of right now. Now, they might want to have some kind of thing that's like Bitcoin that has the backing of the U.S. government to replace cash because, quite frankly, most cash is not cash, meaning most cash you spend every day is digital. Like 98% of your cash is digital. Like if everybody was to go to the bank right now and withdraw, they couldn't because the money does not exist. It's mostly digital anyway. So they may try to say, okay, let's do a digital currency to replace cash because most cash is already digital. But Bitcoin, nah, that's silly. The technology, blockchain is good, but Bitcoin, no. That's the dumbest thing in the world to get paid like that. If you want to invest in that as a stock, that makes sense. But you're not going to pay me in stocks. I mean, unless you got an Amazon stock or something like that. If you can give me a full, like 5 shares of Amazon or something like that, that might make sense. If it's more than the value of what the paycheck could be. But as far as Bitcoin, nah, that's silly. Because you can easily just get paid in cash and invest Bitcoin. He's weird. Thank you to Apple, who says, let me go over here. Apple says, hold on. Democrat narrative, MAGA loaded bullet and Baldwin gun. Yeah, I saw that. I think that was who said that? I think that was I don't know who said that. But I did see that. That was the dumbest thing in the world. Might have been Omarosa or somebody talking about Trump supporters were trying to get revenge. It's like, man, stop. That was because there was a crew that was on deck from LA that was ringing the alarm about how dangerous it was on set. They were ignored. Then they brought in a bunch of scabs from the local area. And then, of course, somebody gets killed. Somebody gets injured. And they had been saying that it could have happened the whole time they were recording. So he had warnings. So even if it was a Trump supporter, he had warnings and he didn't heed the warning. That's his fault. Also, Free Cal Rittenhouse, vote out 13 rhinos in primary. I think it's Apple who also says, John Cardillo, Twitter says, Pelosi moving to Florida. Is that right? Is that right? That's funny. Apple also says, ABL, turkey with or without gravy. Cranberry sauce. I don't like gravy or cranberry sauce. They're both, cranberry sauce is okay as a side, but I don't like gravy at all. Save your gravy. Don't put no gravy on my food at all, period. Take it to, let me see. The super chats are kind of out of, it's weird. I'm going to just read from here because it's weird over here. Thank you to Pete Sangria, who says, for every one New York City resident, there are 25 rats. Wow. I believe it. When I saw that rat dragging a slice of pizza on the subway, I was like, okay, y'all got something else going on here. Y'all got some nuclearized super rats. I told y'all them roaches with jetpacks, them rats size of cats. Y'all got pet rats. Y'all got rats with names in New York City. Sorry, not sorry. Nothing against you guys in New York. Shout out to all you guys, but your rats out there have their own zip codes. It is what it is. Apple also says, ABL favorite action hero, Arnold, Willis, Stallone. Stallone, out of that list, Stallone. For sure. 100%. But when you're talking about like modern, give me Keanu Reeves, like John Wick. I love those movies. Those are the wave right there. That's pure heart and determination. Because he's not really like some kind of superhero or something like that, beyond human, but he's just pure grit. He won't stop. That's me. Thank you to Python Pro Freak for the donation. Appreciate you for that. Thank you to Terranius, who says, just got back from the left coast. Never seen so many transgender people before out here. They're everywhere now. Oh, what's fashionable now, you might come across a random straight guy that is pretending to be transgender just for the vibe. And the young people too, they're kind of confused. They're doing that, and they might go back to being regular. I've seen that happen a lot. This is why you shouldn't be pushing the LGBT stuff on children, because when you're a kid, you're not really going to be able to understand what's going on with that lifestyle, because your brain is still developing. You're still trying to figure out who you are. So you shouldn't be introduced with this alternative lifestyle at a very early age like that. If you want to be an adult and get into that, knock yourself out. Call yourself a princess, a Powerpuff Girl, whatever you want as an adult, but not as a 12-year-old Dwayne Wade son. Anyway, thank you to Apple, who says, AB, how long did you work at Sam's Club? Then my next job, I was at Sam's Club when I was 16 for like a month or two. It was in the summertime. And then I worked half the summer there, and then half at Garden Ridge, which is like Garden Ridge was like, it was like a Home Depot, but with like flowers and pots and yard stuff, basically. Yeah, like landscaping stuff, pretty much. Let me see. Doug Ripley says, ABL, did you see the WWE release multiple wrestlers for not being vaxxed? Oh, is that right? Wow. Was there any stars that got released? Anybody that would know? That's crazy. I didn't hear about that. Hold on. Did I get everybody I wanted to get? Hold on. Apu says, all right, I'm gonna come back and get back to where I'm supposed to be. So here we are. Ron DeSantis wins some Sears GOP presidential ticket 2024. I like DeSantis and Rand Paul. That'd be a good ticket. Or, pardon me, I like Ted Cruz and Rand Paul because DeSantis, I think, might want to stay in Florida. So we'll see. If you ran Ted Cruz and Rand Paul, they win, in my opinion. Because who you going against them? What you gonna get? Pete Buttigieg and Kamala Harris? That ain't gonna get you nowhere. Okay, the country is not as progressive as they want it to be. It's not super progressive. A man married to a man and a woman? Nope. Not even in a lot of these blue areas. It ain't gonna happen. Hold on. Also, Winsome Sears challenge Reed to a debate. Will she debate? Probably not. Probably just talk crazy about her on the show. Or if it is a debate, she gonna try to just try to control the whole situation, not let her get a word out edgewise. Also, Joe Rita and Mark Eric Dyson. Hold on, what's Michael Eric Dyson? You got two guys confused. You talking about Mark Lamont Hill and Michael Eric Dyson. So Joy Reid and Michael Eric Dyson said some very racist remarks against Winsome Sears. Totally disgusting. Do Reid and Dyson believe they're baloney? Michael Eric Dyson is a rapper, basically. He's a rapper disguised as a political commentator on MS-13 DNC. So he's just rapping, saying whatever, like Oswald Bates. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna play Oswald Bates for you guys right quick so you understand who I'm talking about. Because I've said him before. A lot of you guys might be kind of young, don't know who that is. I'm gonna play Oswald Bates. Just so you can understand what I'm talking about right quick. Oh, this is perfect. Perfect. Hold on one second. Let me get to it. You gotta play Oswald Bates from A Living Color. This is the kind of guy that Michael Eric Dyson is. Hold on.
First of all, we must internalize the flatulation of the matter by transmitting the effervescence of the Indonesian proximity in order to further segregate the crux of my venereal infection. Now, if I may retain my liquids here for one moment, I'd like to continue the redundance of my quote-unquote intestinal tract. See, because to preclude on the issue of world domination would only circumcise the revelation that reflects the aphrodisiac symptoms which now perpetrates the Jericho's activation. So, do not misinterpret the chauvinistic...
Give to the United Negro Scholarship Fund, because a mind is a terrible thing to develop without help.
Allow me to expose my colon once again.
So this is what I hear when I hear Michael Eric Dyson and a lot of these wokey woke black guys on television, internet, and stuff like that. I hear Oswald Bates. And Living Color was way ahead of his time. This is like the early 90s. This is way ahead of his time. So shout out to Damon Wayans right here for My Wife and Kids. That's him. Yep, early Damon Wayans. Shout out to him for giving this good comedy routine right here. And I think this might have been something that Paul Mooney was involved with. I'm not really sure, but I forget. This is a brilliant character. Brilliant. And of course, he was in the penitentiary. As how they always be, in jail, talking like that. Because that's where it starts, when they're in the penitentiary. I'm woke. Now I'm going to start using all these words that don't make no sense. All right. But anyway, I'll move right along. Yes. So that is Oswald Bates. So whenever you hear these guys on TV talking like that, all these crazy words, remember that video. Remember that. But I'll move right along. God bless Marjorie Taylor Greene visiting January 6 Patriots. Prayers for all January 6 MAGA in D.C. jails unfairly Tucker. Carlson is now showing the world the unjust treatment they are being abused with. God bless Tucker. Thursday live stream with Jericho Green, Craig, Brandon Tatum. Awesome. Shout out to all the federal rallies running around in the chat. Shouldn't y'all be looking for Ashley's diary, Pelosi's laptop? Hi to Ray Epps, a favorite snitch. Thank you to Superfly, who says, same here, have 1/5 a gallon of gas. Thank you to Brenda, who says, I love you, ABL, hashtag LGB, let's go, Brandon. Thank you to Farno Faye, who says, hey, ABL, you see on TMZ where Big Bird got the vax. Who's next? SpongeBob and Patrick, Yosemite Sam and Bugs Bunny, LGB, No T, Let's Go Brandon. Right on. I saw that. That was crazy. That was super crazy. Matter of fact, I think I saw a tweet and I added my own tweet just for a little bit of reference. Let's get that on the screen right quick. So it says, Big Bird says, I got the vaccine today. My wing is feeling a little sore, but it'll give my body an extra protective boost that keeps me and others healthy. Not even true. At Erica R. Hill even said I've been getting vaccines since I was a little bird. I had no idea. So now they're trying to target the kids, but they've been doing that though. That ain't nothing new. And I added my own little twist right here. And if you can't see it, it has Big Bird and letter of the day, M. What's M stand for? Myocarditis. So shout out to, I think it might have been, I forget who had this meme at first, but it wasn't me. But I just added it because I saw it and I was like, yeah, that fits perfectly right here. So shout out to M for myocarditis. Let's have that be the word of the day on Sesame Street. If you're going to be talking about the vax, let's do it all the way. Let's not do it halfway. Sesame Street. Let's go ahead and get straight to the meat and potatoes, right? But anyway, did I get everything? Nah, I got a few more. Y'all just hang tight. I'm gonna get to the calls in a little bit, I promise. Thank you to Derek Metcalf for your donation. I think I already read that. Let me see if I got everybody. David Dahmer says, do you believe OSHA vax mandate will be overturned in the courts? It could be. Thank you to Atlas Spoke for becoming a new supporter. Thank you to Liam Mazzino, who says 10th Amendment on the mandate decision by courts. Thank you to the Anti-View, who says I survived the trandemic. Hilarious. Thank you to Mark Trevino, who says I'm going to mask my dogs now that it's on video. Trey, don't talk about Randy Moss now. Let's try to get blocked like that, sir. Thank you to Elizabeth Peterson for the emoji. Thank you to Spotted Soul, who says Joe Rogan for 2024. Thank you to Laura Catherine, who says, I think the word you're looking for is civility. Idiocracy at its finest. Yes. Thank you to Derek Metcalf, who says, thank you for your patriotism. Just Cause says, free Cal Rittenhouse. He ain't even do nothing. Thank you to Marquis Starks for the fist bump emoji. Yusef says, security said he got stuck in the net. Already read that one. I think that is it. It was kind of out of order, so it was kind of hard to read. Let's get to the calls now. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Somebody says, who follows Big Bird on Twitter? That's a good question. Somebody sent me that, but I wouldn't have known if somebody didn't send it to me. Little kids might follow Big Bird on Twitter if they have a Twitter account. And some of these weirdo adults most certainly follow Big Bird on Twitter. Big Bird has how many followers? 212,000 followers. 212,000. Not sure why, but he does. Okay. Let's go ahead and get to it. And let's see if Skype wants to act right today. If it doesn't, again, it's not my fault. Please blame the white man. That's how you want to direct all your blame to. And let's get straight to it. All right. So let's go. The phone lines are blowing up. So y'all please hang tight. All righty. You're on the line. Can you hear me?
Hi, yes, ABL, it's me, Leslie. How are you?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be on. It's been a while.
Yes, indeed. How's everything?
Good. We're just here enjoying our day.
All righty.
Hi, ABL.
Hey, buddy. What's going on?
Say hey. We're watching you right now. I just wanted to touch on something, ABL. I know you did mention, because there was talks right now about OSHA, right?
Yeah.
So you said, it's going to get to the point where OSHA is just going to just want everybody to get vaxxed, and you're actually like 100% spot on. Just because I know I came on here already and I talked about, for all your followers and yourself, if you want to follow freedom_Illinois on Instagram. The attorney that's actually representing, one of the 5 attorneys in the state of Illinois that's representing the school districts for lawsuits against the max mandates as of for right now. did go ahead and confirm that this is his name is Tom DeVore. He has a video on there. And he did confirm ultimately, like, this is just what they want. They don't want you to test. It's just going to be pretty much at the end of it all, they just want you to get vaxxed. That's it. That's all they want.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I know that, like, with OSHA, I know they went ahead and did also that. I don't know if you've heard of it or you did a video already about it, but OSHA doesn't want to put any adverse effects. And the reason why OSHA gave this explanation was because they do not want to scare any, potential, right, people that want to come and get the vaccine. They don't want to just discourage them and scare them off. So that's the whole point of that right now. But ABL, honestly, I thought OSHA was just, the people that come in and just make sure, you have like the first aid kit, you understand, like, who to call in case if there's an emergency, like those eye rinse stuff in case something gets inside your eyes. I thought that's what it was.
I was under the same impression, but apparently not. Apparently they're being abused for a different reason. It's kind of a backdoor way to make everybody get the shot.
That's true. That's true. I also wanted to touch a little bit on that, what I came across in the state of Illinois as of right now. We actually got word, at least in the high schools for now. This is something I would have to get in contact with, like the elementary schools. But you touched a great point with, having all this LG, nonsense in schools. There's a actual book. It is called, let me see 1 second. It's called Gender Queer by Mia Kobabe. And I'm just letting you guys know, and your viewers too, because for all the parents that are out there, just be very vigilant. And especially like with this book, if you go ABO on your own time and you actually look it up, it is disturbing. It's more like a comic book layout, but it is graphic stuff in there. So I'm just, saying it just so that all the parents out there can keep a very close eye in regards to what's happening, like, these kind of content that they have in the schools.
Right. Got to be aware of it, because if you're not, will be exposed to some weird stuff.
Oh yeah, of course. That's all, ABL. That's all I wanted to come on. It was very nice talking to you. I missed you all, and I just want to wish you guys a wonderful rest of your night. And we love you, ABL. We support you so much.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye.
All right, now. All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Yeah, that's what I thought OSHA was. OSHA just like the safety guys. You're not wearing your hard hat. You're not wearing your high-vis vest. They'll come around for that. But now all of a sudden, they're the guys that's going to try to get you to. They're going to mandate the shot and enforce it. How is that proper use of resources from the federales? It's not. But they do all this backdoor stuff. Is why it might get blocked in the court, because you can't just do whatever you want to do at a certain point. 778, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, can I talk to Anthony Brian Logan?
You're speaking to him right now. What's happening?
Pardon?
You're speaking to me right now. What's going on?
Oh, yeah. Hey, good talking to you. I really like your show. I agree with you on pretty much every point. And you're hitting a lot of really good points here today. Now, but the one thing that is, I think, a really, really big issue, but many people don't talk about it, it's the drugs, okay? If you look at our junkie paradigm, I call it, that is the way we do the establishment treatment of drug addicts, that does not work. It just takes up a whole bunch of money, and it does not have a good success rate. Now, in some other countries, especially poor countries like Southeast Asian countries, what they do is they round up the junkies and they put them in cages, and they tell them there's no way you're getting any more drugs, right? No kind of drugs. You have to, go through cold turkey. It's forced cold turkey, right? And it really works. They have a very high success rate. And even Russia has tried this too. And it really works. It's just called forced cold turkey. It works. It's real cheap, like in Thailand or something like that. It's very cheap for them because they just build these little cages and they put one junkie in one cage, and then they have these young men walking around with sticks. You know, and they don't actually have to hit them because the junkies know, you know, if they do anything wrong, they'll get hit with a stick. So every day, you know, they let them out of their little cages and line them up on benches, and they eat some food. Then they put them right back in again. And these are all tough young men with big sticks who control them. It doesn't take major guard towers or anything like that, eh? And it really works. That's the thing. It works, okay? But our establishment psych sciences, I think, are totally off track, completely off track. They don't know what they're doing, but they're making a lot of money, okay? That's my opinion on that.
Right. I'm with you. That's really what it is, because fentanyl, people don't understand that that's a man-made, that's big pharma drug right there, and that's damaging the entire country in a very serious way. So, yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah. And like fentanyl, people should know it's very cheap, and two pieces the size of a grain of, like, put 2 grains of salt on a plate and look at them. That much fentanyl will kill you dead. 1 grain will get you very, very stoned. 2 grains will kill you dead. A friend of mine died, or, well, an acquaintance of mine died. The first day he got his COVID check, and he, of course, he was a junkie, and he got his first COVID check, and he died the same day. Went out and bought some junk and died. That's, you know, that's what they do. That's, anyway, I'll just stop talking now.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you for what you do, buddy.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, that these drugs, the drugs are a problem. It's a serious problem. It's, you know, I think Iran were the ones that were saying that the U.S. is trying to, they're trying to destroy them from within, because they allow the drugs to just come into their country. And you having all these drug addicts, they can't be productive, and they start to commit crimes. It degrades society. It's really a security problem. We're talking about drugs proliferating. It's not a good thing at all. 702, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. My name is Lindy, and I just wanted to make a couple of comments.
All right.
One is, I really enjoy your show, and you really break it down to where, like, you know, people can really understand what's really going on. So I appreciate you for that. Also, I just wanted to say, like, a while back, you had said something about there was this viral photo of a food stamp balance being like $20,000.
Yes.
Do you recall that?
I do.
Okay. So just the other day on Facebook, because I follow you on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. So just the other day on Facebook, you posted a turkey for like $85, right?
Yeah.
So I just made a stupid comment. It wasn't even that serious, right? But I made a comment that said, well, that's cheap when you have $20,000 on your EBT card. And I just kind of left it at that. Okay, it's fine. But then, like, a couple days go by, and the other day, like maybe 2 days ago or something, people came at me for that comment. And I'm like, what the heck? So somebody is like, you know, quit your job and go get one. Somebody said, oh, do you mean in 2017 when Trump was in office? You know, and all this. And I'm like, look, it was just a joke off of like some viral photo. Maybe it was fake. Maybe it was not. But it was just a stupid joke. But I couldn't believe the comments these people were saying. They're just so sensitive somehow. And I was like, oh, my God, like, it's just a joke. I guess people's sense of humor is different. And so, yeah, I was just kind of tripping on that. And I just wanted to call you and let you know that, like, you know, one silly little comment on your photo, like, got me blasted. See, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, that receipt right there. And, yeah, like, I kind of engaged for a minute, and I did put a few comments about how it was just a joke and, you know, this and that. But then after a while, I'm just like, oh, my God, just forget it. Like, I know it was a joke. If you read my comment, you probably would have taken it as a joke. And, you know, that's that. Is there a date on that? Because some girl posted a photo on the comments on the Facebook of a receipt that said $20,000, but from 2017. Does that one that you're showing have a date?
No, there's no date on it.
Oh, well, I don't know. But anyways, so I just want to call because I thought it was so funny that, I just did one little stupid comment because of, that photo that you're showing on the screen right now. And, people came at me, bro. I was like, what the heck? I struck a nerve, I guess.
That's how it is online, though, because people, they get offended. And a lot of that, when you're talking about welfare benefits, they just get offended. And that's every day. Like a lot of these comments, I barely even read. People are always upset about something. They're just soft. That's all. If it was, it's a simple joke. Everybody that's sensible knows you shouldn't have that much money on the food stamp card, but people get offended regardless.
Right. Yeah. And when I said, it's just a joke because of like this photo that was on the internet or whatever. And then somebody was like, well, let's be clear. They're laughing at you because they think your statement was idiotic. And I'm just like, well, what? Of course it was idiotic. It was a joke. Like it wasn't really meant to be that serious. But anyways, so I just want to maybe call your attention to it for a second because it's just so weak. I don't know. But anyways, so I'll let you get back to your show and the rest of your callers. And I appreciate you and what you do like everybody else. And you have a good one.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, that's it. That's the internet for you. You're going to get comments like that. A lot of times I don't even really see them. I don't even really pay them no mind. But I mean, who's going to actually be offended? Just somebody that probably is on food stamps themselves. They probably got a whole quinceañera on their food stamp card. And if that's what you do, then then be proud. If you got $1 million on the food stamp card, be proud of it. Don't be ashamed. If you're ashamed of it, then you might not want to do it. How about that? If you're so triggered and offended at a joke, how about you don't do it? Go out there and get a job if you can. If you're able-bodied, go out there and get a job and work. How about that? But I digress. Let's go. 262, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. This is Jesse.
All right,
how you doing tonight?
It's all good. About yourself?
Hey, yeah, I'm just here with my friend. I told him about that conversation I had with you a while back. I did my weak Joe Biden impression. I was wondering, do you really think that corn pop is not real?
He might be. You never know. He could be, might not be, especially with the way Joe Biden is right now. He could be recalling anything. He might be thinking about his the actual cereal box and then putting the face to it, thinking it's a real person. You never know with this guy's mind.
Yeah, you're right, man. You made my night, man. I appreciate you. Have a good night.
Thank you for the call.
All right, bye.
Yeah, man, you never know what's going on. I mean, this man, I'm telling you, you got a few trees short of a forest, a few fries short of an entire Happy Meal. He might not know what's going on. Corn pop, don't even know. But anyway, let's go to. All right, the phone lines are blowing up. I'm gonna try to get to everybody as soon as I can. Y'all just hang tight, please. 352, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, how you doing, sir? It's Wayne from Florida.
All right, man. What's going on?
Oh, nothing. Hey, you got to slow it down with this DeSantis stuff, man. We got to keep him here in Florida.
I know, man. I know how y'all feel about DeSantis. I hear that a lot. Every time I talk to somebody from Florida, they say, no, man, don't take DeSantis. We need him. Because I know y'all almost got the other guy. Y'all almost got Andrew Gillum, who got caught with them boys.
You know all about that stuff.
Yeah, so I feel where you're coming from.
Yeah. Funny story real quick. First of all, I love the show, man.
Thank you.
Went out to dinner with my my family a couple weeks ago, and I had my DeSantis shirt on. You know, I got to represent. You know,
right?
And it was crazy. It was like a 90%, 10% split. Everybody's high fiving. You know, people buying me drinks at the bar and stuff. And you know, of course, you got the crooked eye guy looking at me like, "Oh God."
Of course, you get that one guy, but mostly everybody's going to be on the same page.
Yeah, we got to keep him here in Florida, man. We don't have much of a decision here. We got, Charlie Crist talking about running here again. We got some other weird people, but I don't know, man. A couple other things. Got to love Peter Ducey calling out Biden on the 450K.
Oh, yeah. That was great. That was fantastic. And it was weird because he was like, oh, no, it's not really going to happen. And then he was like, well, we might do it. It might be. It's like he's not even really knowing what's going on. He's just, they're not really briefing him. They just do stuff, and they tell him to go out there and say whatever they put on a sheet of paper, but they're not really involving them in policy decisions.
Right, correct. And the young lady they have filling in for Jen Psaki, because she's out with the bug, she's like, oh, we got to redirect it to the DOJ. We got to put your questions over here and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Whatever. How's that Tundra treating you, man? You do anything to it?
Nah, not really. I put a little bit. Had different wheels on it. I got a tonneau cover, but I didn't lift it or anything like that. I like the way the suspension is right now, so I think I'm gonna kind of leave it like that. But I love it, man. I really do. It's fantastic.
That's cool, man. Hey, another question real quick, and I'll let you go. I know you got a lot of callers. I'm looking to retire in probably another 15 years in the fire department here in Florida. I want to go to Tennessee. You got any recommendations?
Oh yeah, East Tennessee is probably good, man. Like, I'm in Chattanooga. People that live in Knoxville, they like it. That's close to Gatlinburg, Dollywood, all that good stuff. If you like the mountains, stay on the east. Now, if you want more, you could go Nashville, but Nashville is getting very crowded. I suggest maybe like on the outskirts. It depends on how much money you have. If you have like a whole bunch of money, then you can go live in Frank.
No.
I say somewhere like Murfreesboro, somewhere like that, close to Nashville, maybe even in Nashville itself. But definitely
Murfreesboro. And what about I got family in Lebanon. Is that, am I saying it right?
Yeah, where is that? Hold on, let me look right quick. I think it's close to Nashville.
I think it's like 30 minutes outside Nashville.
Yeah, I know where that is. Yeah, that's a pretty good area. You right there. That's right up. That's north of Murfreesboro, straight up, like 231. So straight up that way. Yeah, that's cool out there too.
Nice. Yeah. I'm that guy who called you. I think it was last show or the show before. You actually red pilled my old lady, and now she's a Republican now.
Well, fantastic. Love it.
All right, man. Love the show. I'll talk to you later, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. Nashville is cool. I mean, it's not really for me to live in Nashville. I want to live out like in Franklin, so, like out far, like not necessarily in the city center, but I can go to the city center if I need to. You see what I'm saying? Like whenever I go, Nashville, Williamson County, Davidson County is the liberal area, but it's not that liberal. Put it to you like this. Davidson County is about, I can't really put it into words. Basically what I'm saying is Davidson County might be considered liberal, but it's nowhere near as liberal as, let's say, San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, even Atlanta. And once you right outside in Williamson County, that's conservative. You got to pay your firstborn child to live out there. That has some of the highest real estate prices in the whole country in Williamson County. Because you out there with all the country stars and stuff like that. It's beautiful out there. Whenever I go to Nashville, I stay like in Franklin and stuff like that for a hotel. I just drive into Nashville. So if I want to go to, let's say, a Titans game, I'll stay probably in Franklin and probably drive up. Because I'll probably drive there. Just drive up from Franklin. You'd be there 15, 20 minutes and no problem. And traffic where I live is not really a problem. It's growing out here a lot, so there's issues with infrastructure. But the traffic is nowhere near like Atlanta or even back in Virginia. The traffic in Virginia was crazy. When the base lets out on 264, 564, forget about it. Stay home. Anyway, move on. The number to call is 434-658-1220. 912, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Tom.
All right, man. What's going on?
I know it's been, I don't know, man. Probably a good year or two since I called and talked to you. I've still been listening to you, but it's interesting. So my kind of, I guess, daughter-in-law went out to the show out there in Texas and experienced, I guess, the rampage of people running up to the Travis Scott.
Oh, wow. Was she there?
Yeah, she was there. I mean, I live in Georgia. I'm in Savannah, Georgia, and her and her boyfriend went out there, and they were kind of in the back, and everything was fine up until then. But it was a bunch of people that just rushed the stage for no reason. Like everything was fine, but then people just got. I mean, it's like Christmas and Black Friday. You know what I'm saying? Now they give tickets out. Everyone wait your turn, stand in line. You get what I'm saying? The fact that like everything was fine up until the fact that people just decided to bum rush the stage, and then that's when the problem started. So yeah,
right. It kind of just it was a switch that got flipped, and then all of a sudden it was pandemonium.
Yeah, I mean that's what they experienced, and that's what they didn't understand, like why anyone had to react and get too crazy excited because it was fine.
Right. Yeah.
If no one would have ran around and ran over people and squashed people, then it would kind of everyone could. And I guess they canceled kind of the rest of the shows. You know what I'm saying? You go for a weekend, and I guess it's a couple-day festival and stuff like that. But you go to it, and then it's just something unnecessary, something so little can be a big problem like that.
Right.
Because I don't know, people don't think or whatever. But yeah, I was just gonna tell you that, and I mean I don't know. It's interesting with everything that's going on, information, and like you're always like so real. I listen to you on Tatum. You guys do your little 4-way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you guys are all so different.
Right. Exactly.
But you guys all like think about stuff, process stuff, have different perspectives. Like, congrats in Virginia and everywhere else across the country where people went out and voted and made their voices heard, regardless of all the nonsense they're doing behind finding ballot. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we randomly found like 12,000. Well, you can't count them. Where's the chain of custody?
Right, exactly.
So, but yeah, I appreciate everything you do, man. I mean, you're just sharing the truth and information, which you would think that people think and stuff like that. And I was going to say too is it's a trip because sometimes it's hard to get into. I remember like I called like, I don't know, you call like 50 times and it's like, oh, well, you're harassing this caller and it don't let you call no more.
Wow.
But I appreciate everything you do, ABL. That's about it. I was just going to tell you, that we had the kids down there, and they experienced it from the back and the outside, and they watched the bull rush towards the stage for no reason, and they didn't understand like why that happened and why. You know what I'm saying? Right. If they would have just like been normal, here's my ticket. Doesn't mean single file. I mean, I know it's crowds and crowds of people, but it's just unnecessary.
I hear you, man.
I mean, there's different levels of respect and whatnot. So,
right on, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, ABL, take it easy. I appreciate you, man.
All right, thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. The whole thing with the Stampede is like, yo, just like, where are you going? Just stay in your line like you should. Stop being so, weird. All right, let's go to 1 second here. All right, Skype caller, who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, can you hear me?
I hear you well.
Awesome. How you doing tonight, man? Hopefully you're doing all right.
Everything's great, man. Can't complain at all.
Yeah, man, you hear what's going on in Australia with this whole COVID thing. It's insane. There are so many protests, and the media was trying to ignore the protests. I'm telling you guys, there's a protest is erupting all over the globe, but the media is not talking about that. It is happening everywhere. I'm saying almost 50 to 60,000 people on the streets of Australia protesting every day, to the point where even the Australian news can't even ignore it anymore. They recently start talking about it. but they're talking about it like these protest people are just these crazy conspiracy Alex Jones people out there, and they try to dim it down and say it's not many people out there, but there's actually people posting videos online and showing the crowd of thousands upon thousands of people protesting against this vaccine mandate. And there's a thing right now. I know you know the craziness, some of the craziness that they're doing with this vaccine mandate in Australia. But I also heard they reported on the news actually that let's say if your family members are vaccinated, but you're not vaccinated, and your family member, let's say your family member got a side effect from this vaccine or needs some kind of medical procedures in the hospital, they will deny your family member any kind of medical procedures because you're not vaccinated. So they will put it on the family member and say, well, ABL is not vaccinated, so we can't give you anything or any kind of medication because ABL is not vaccinated. Your son.
So hold on.
You know what I mean?
So if the person that wants treatment is vaccinated, but their family member is not vaccinated, then they'll deny you based on that.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's like
crazy.
that's like saying, okay, if you don't pay this mafia protection fee, you're going to kill your family. Like what?
Exactly. Exactly. And a lot of Americans, you know, we here in America really believe that we can't fathom that in our mind that something like that can happen in America. But I think a lot of Americans are saying that, you know, if they take it too far, that's when we'll actually do something about it. But they're already coming for your kids. They're already coming for your young ones. So how far do you want them to take it? And they say this vaccine thing is from 5 to 12, which is terrible of itself. But now they're even saying that they want to go lower. Now they're saying they want to go for infants. They're already encouraging pregnant women to get vaccinated. That's a mess. But they're already encouraging pregnant women to get vaccinated. And I think, I really believe they're also going to, I think they're doing things very slowly. But surely they're doing the process very slowly because they know if they do it like in one setting, they will have more people going against this mandate, and there'll be more uproar and more people against them. But if they do it very slowly, people will become more accustomed to the process. So I think that's what they're doing. They're doing the process slowly. And what do you think about that?
I think so, because if they can just do this like slow creep, one little thing here, one little thing there, then it won't be like, it won't come as a shock all of a sudden. Just like this whole thing what we got going on right now. First it was the mask. It was just like, oh, wear a mask in certain settings, do your distancing. Then it became, or you got to wear a mask, it's mandatory. Then it became, oh, here's a shot, it's available if you want it, give you all kind of bonuses. Thank you for the tea. And then it became, oh, well, you must get the shot. You got to get it. So it's a slow creep. Yeah. And everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people just accept it as normal.
Yeah, and me, myself, you have one thing I noticed. You have a lot of people who are Christians who are watching your show. People from all different backgrounds and so forth. There's a lot of people with religious faith watching your show. And one thing I noticed when Joe Biden first initiated this vaccine mandate, he said something very, very important. He said, my patience is getting thin. Now, why is Joe Biden, who just recently became president, allegedly, just recently became president, less than 3 months before he initiated the vaccine mandate, why is Joe Biden saying his patience is growing thin? First of all, that's not scary, Joe Biden. We're not scared of you. And another thing about that is, I honestly believe on the spiritual aspects of all of what Joe Biden said when he said his patience is growing thin. Me spiritually thinking about that situation, I honestly believe that was not Joe Biden saying that. I purposely believe that that was the devil speaking through Joe Biden, because the devil know his time is running out, because there's a king on his way. So I think when Joe Biden is saying his patience is growing thin, that was probably the devil speaking to that gentleman, saying that my time is running out. You guys better follow my order, because my time is running out. Anyways, ABL, take care. Thank you for taking my call, brother. Take care.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. All right, let's get to the next call here. Let's go 412. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, bro? So I've been watching the show for a while. I feel like you're too nice to some of the people that call in. I think you should ask for more facts and less personal stories. I got a couple facts here just because I've been listening to what they were saying about the vaccination for 5 to 11-year-olds, and I did some math, and basically this is what they're professing is out of the kids who ended up the kids from 5 to 11, that's 35 million people. And they said 2 million kids got it. So that's a 1 in 17 chance. Then you got 35 million, and they said 8,300 were hospitalized. That's 1 in 4,216. So your chances of being hospitalized are 1 in 4,216. And then of those, only a third were actually admitted to the ICU. But of the children who died in the entire time of the pandemic, it is a 1 in 372,340. So I think this 5 to 11-year-old vaccination is absolutely crazy. I got a younger brother, and I've been begging my mom not to get him vaccinated. I think we need more information before we go and do something crazy that we don't know the results to. But, I thought I'd call in and give some facts. But I appreciate it. I love what you're doing, and thank you.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep.
All right, let's get to some more here. Number to call, 434-658-1220. 865, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. This is Lori from the Hills again. I'm glad I got you this evening.
All righty. What's going on?
All righty. I've been trying like the dickens to get through tonight, but all right. Now, I was hanging around with Jimmy Carter. You know, the Carter years. Good Lord. Looks like we're going right back into them again. Well, no, I take it back. We're already there. But I just wanted to point out something, that people ought to get locking gas caps while they can. Because I can't tell you how many times we had the gas stolen out of our cars. You know, when things really started getting tough, you go out in the morning and start your car, and there wouldn't be no gas in it.
Yeah.
So So if they start rationing the gas, it could very well happen.
It really could, especially when it gets to be super expensive and it's rationed. That could be a serious problem.
Yeah, if it gets up over $5 a gallon, you could very well see it happen.
Oh yeah, they're pretty much already there in California. I heard about one place it was like $7. I mean, just ridiculous.
Well, you better go on ahead and buy that lock and gas cap while you can, because they'll start getting pretty thin here after a bit. But did you see Biden there at that summit when they took the picture? He was standing all the way over to the left all by himself.
Yeah, I saw that. That was really odd.
Yeah, they were worried about farting Joe. Nobody wanted to get farted on.
Like, you go over there. We ain't trying to smell that, Joe. You go over that way.
Yeah, the word must have got out pretty quick. Oh, I'll tell you what, that was funny. Now, I don't care who you are, but anyway, I think I remember seeing Trump. He was at one of those summits, and they sort of had him pushed back into the middle. I tell you what, he buffaloed his way right to the front. And I said, now that's a president. That is a president. I guess they thought they were dealing with Obama, so he let them know right quick who was in charge. But I was wanting to ask you, that lieutenant governor there in Virginia, the one that they're saying that she's the what is it, the white face of black? I'm not quite. What are they calling?
They're saying that she was the black face of white supremacy.
Okay, what kind of message are they trying to give the black people when they say that?
They're trying to say that since she does not basically parrot our narrative on the left, that means she's a bad person.
Are they trying to mess with the black vote?
Sort of, yeah. And they're also trying to mess with the liberal vote of different races that think that what they're saying is true.
So they're saying it's true. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go. I think that's about all I wanted to put out tonight was, getting that lock and gas cap, because that could be one of the first things we see coming is, gas being siphoned off.
That's right. You got a point. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's a good point. Get the lock and gas cap because they might need to siphon that gas. The gas is like already $7 in some parts of California. Hey man, that's an old school thing, siphoning gas. If you're doing something like that, you down bad. They got all this free money out there. You can get gas. 701, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
The anti-view. How are you doing tonight, ABL?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm doing well. I like that the caller a couple while back said that we should give some facts. So I called just to give some facts because I think there's some interesting things that everybody needs to know about the medical field, especially since I'm considering leaving it.
Okay.
Did you know that since 1990, there has been a 75% increase in the healthcare field, and 95% of them are not doctors?
Wow. No, I didn't know that.
So that's a 1 in 16 ratio for everybody else to doctors, right? That's nurses, that's aides, but that's also administrative. So 1 to 16. Only 6 of those are actually caring for the patient. So 10 of those are purely administrative roles.
Okay. See, yeah, that's a serious problem because it's like all they're going to do is just create more red tape and stuff like that to keep their job.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So do you know that 2012, the number of days Americans spent, doesn't matter 2012, but the number of days Americans spent in the hospital decreased by 12%, but the hospital staff grew by 11%?
Wow.
Another fun fact is that out of the 1 in 4 insured people out there, 1 in 4 of us are taking an antibiotic for no reason.
Wow.
1 in 7 of us are given the wrong antibiotic. So while there's a person with no degree at all, like didn't finish high school, working at whatever insurance company, clicking the computer, telling the doctor what they can and can't do, somebody's dying because a doctor's not being a doctor. And that's why I'm thinking about leaving, really, because I had an event happen the last live night was, and I'm actually glad I didn't get through that night because I was pretty emotional, but I still am. I took back a lady to our house. I have an assisted living that I'm in charge of, and she was positive. And I have 3 ladies there that are on hospice. 4 of them are over the age of 92. And this hospital just said, well, I mean, does it really matter? I'm sorry, but that's not your choice to make. And you told me that she was admitted to the hospital, and then after hours, you called and said, oh, are you ready to take her back? So I have no way to prep for this person to come back. They say, well, it's the law, which they're right. Because when COVID struck, our Emperor Waltz, our Tim Tifa Waltz, decided to enact a law that states that no nursing home or assisted living or group home can refuse the readmission of a patient, regardless of communicable disease status. So whether or not they have TB, whether or not they have hepatitis, like the kind you get from eating or whatever, regardless of what they have to come back to whatever living situation. Doesn't matter who lives there with them. So your grandma, I mean, there's a reason why certain nursing homes, there was mass casualties of elderly. There's no HEPA filtration between each room. And I'm very proud of the place that I actually work at because we have a residential setting and it's very small. We got home cooked meals. These ladies get to receive the best care possible. Well, I have to call and tell each one of their families now that we're taking back a positive person because it's the law.
Right.
I want to help these people. I want to enrich the last years of their life. You know, these are widows of a Marine and of a Navy vet and of, you know, I want to do wonders for these women, and the state of Minnesota is not letting it happen, but also the medical field and insurance company is not. So when you think about when you go to the doctor and they say, well, we got to check your blood first. Oh, we got to check this first. I want you to take a deep breath and really think about what they're asking you to do and why, because it's not because of them. It's because an insurance company is telling you that you have to check this box before you can check any other box. It's ridiculous. And if anybody ever has any questions, they're welcome to email me because I have 1,000,001 things to tell you about self-advocacy. It's very important.
Right on.
So I hope you have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep. Bye.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. The medical system, you know, and that's why when people talking about, oh, trust the science, trust the doctors, what science? Who are we trusting, really? Who are we trusting? Okay, especially right now, we need to have more than one opinion. I mean, that's always been the thing, right? Second opinion and stuff like that. Why is it just you have to trust whoever the government says to trust, whoever TV says to trust? Okay, there are doctors and whatnot that actually in the field that have had success with this. Why can't we hear them? Why can't we listen to what they got going on? Why listen to those who have had failures rather than those who have had success? You see, it makes no sense, but that's government for you all day long. Okay, let's go to a few more here. Y'all just hang tight. We're going to get to you guys in a minute. Just hold on. And all right, you're on the call 917. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how you doing? Calling out from New York. It's Mr. Coleman.
All righty, what's going on? Hold on, before you start, hold on. I'm hearing myself in the background. Turn your speakers on for me, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
All righty. What's happening?
Calling out from New York. What I want to say is, you know, it's getting hard for us out here in the work market to actually make it because of the gas prices, the inflation and grocery prices is getting very, very hard for us. Even those that are on public assistance or whatnot that's promoted, you still can't make a way out of anywhere. And it's getting very hard for us out here. And I speak for everybody in New York City when we say we're suffering.
Yeah, man.
And it's because of the economic policies of our government that we are suffering.
Right.
And another thing that I want to bring to attention is, you know, little do people know, we in New York are sick and tired of the rhetoric that comes from DC. We are sick and tired of, you know, and this race that happened in New Jersey, let alone New York, New Jersey is an eye-opener. It should be an eye-opener for everybody because at the end of the day, I'm a young 34-year-old Black person, and I can understand, you know, the difference between, you know, people that are there and are fighting for you versus people that are not. And right now, just feels like people are not there for us. And then we have to look at the party that's in office, because this is where it lies.
Right. Absolutely.
And I just wanted to get some feedback from you, JB, because I just, I watch you all the time. And, being a middle-aged African-American in this system that we're in right now, I just feel defeated in a way.
Well, I mean, there's ways you can have a more productive existence. Like, I mean, you living in New York. I mean, can you leave?
Right now, I'm planning on doing that. What I want to do is, I want to move to either Virginia or Florida or Texas. That's what I want to do. Right now, financially, I can't get ahead. So it's like, if you can't get ahead, you're stuck where you are.
Well, I mean, what skill, like, do you have skills that can transfer? Like, as far as your occupation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I am a licensed chef. Also with that, I went to law school. So, I'm fluent in law, and right now I just feel like, it's a lot of things that don't sit right with me. I'm a person that didn't look through everything with I guess rose glasses or whatever they say.
Yeah.
I haven't looked through everything. I was a devout Democrat for a while. Since I was about like 16, 17, and I actually got into politics. My family swayed me to be to the left, but I always felt like it wasn't right, and now that I see it and now that I'm looking at it, these policies are just ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
These policies are outright just communism.
Man, I tell you what, though, one thing about the U.S. is that when you live in a different state, it can be a totally different experience. Like where I live in Tennessee, there's no mandates and nothing like that. Everything's open. We pretty much do whatever. It's no problem. But if you go to California, maybe even New York, it's not quite that way. So, I mean,
yeah,
I say South Carolina is good for a lot of New York, or North Carolina, Florida, Texas, Tennessee. These are all good places to go.
Yeah.
You have transferable skills. People, they need in chefs. If you know the law, you can understand ways to be able to kind of navigate yourself and understand what you're getting yourself into. So, yeah, man, you can definitely make a way for yourself, man. I think that should be your focus, because you might want to try to fix things where you are, but at a certain point, you're not always able to do that. You're able to move around and do what's best for you in your life.
Yeah, you gotta basically know when to get out. And right now, I want out, because this state has run itself to the ground. I really I thought I had a support system behind me, to where we were gonna fight for what we believe in. But then when you look at the numbers, like in New York, it was astronomical. To the defeat. And I'm just like, how can somebody go against the core principles of, you just providing for yourself? Like I'm flabbergasted. At the same time, I understand it, and right now I'm just working to get out of the state that I'm in. And I thank you for your time today. I know you got many other people to get to. And, I just wanted to voice my opinion, because, this opinion should be voiced, not voiced, but voiced in New York, because we have no representation at all. And if we don't speak up for ourselves, then, what is it worth? It's not really worth anything if you're just gonna lie down and take it.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, and thank you for your time. love the stream and I support it. I'm trying to get a lot of my other friends onto your stream as well. Just like B Tatum, trying to get them there too. Don't mean to self or promote anybody else on your stream, but I'm trying to get everybody to get into the conservative move, because if not that, then what?
Right on. Exactly, man. Thank you for your call. Appreciate you.
Alrighty.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's go to the next one here. All right, who am I speaking to? 617, you on the line.
Yeah, what's up, man? What's up, ABL?
What's going on? Who is this?
How you doing?
Okay.
This is a guy from Boston, Massachusetts. How you doing tonight?
All right. What's going on?
Not much. I've been listening to you for quite a while. I don't know if you still remember me. And I seem like you've been bashing the vaccine quite a bit. And my question to you is, do you know the difference between somebody, 30 years old, I'll give you an example, two guys are 30 years old, healthy, one unvaccinated, the other one vaccinated, and get the virus? You know what will be the difference between the two?
Just get to your point. I don't got all night for the games.
Well, that's a question, because you bashing the vaccine.
Look, just get to the, sir, listen, I promise. Get to your point, or I'm going to hang up right now.
My point is that you bashing the vaccine and you don't even know the difference between the person that is vaccinated and unvaccinated. You don't know the difference. You think the vaccine itself stops the virus. That is just not true. The vaccine doesn't stop the virus. What the vaccine does, you know what the vaccine does?
You tell me.
Okay, what the vaccine does is instruct your body how to recognize the pathogen, in this case would be the COVID-19, and how to program your T cell and your B cells to respond earlier versus the unvaccinated got away a week or two, because your T cells won't respond, because won't recognize the pattern until later.
All right, so
on.
what's the point? What's the point?
Adaptive
So what's the point in mandating it though?
My point is that, dude, you say a lot of things that you don't.
All right,
know.
look. You know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna ask questions. So you're gonna be quiet when I ask. Or I'm gonna just hang up, because I don't even got time. So the question is,
no. Ask the question.
All right, like quiet.
ABL.
All right. You know what? I was trying to be cool. I was trying to let dude talk. That's why I don't. You see what I'm saying? I promise I don't got time. When I talk, you gotta let me answer the question. So now he's gone. So y'all wave him goodbye. Y'all wave him goodbye. Let's go to the next caller. 790, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hello, it's you?
It's me.
Yeah, I'm calling from Russia, and I'm actually just watching right now the military ad, like the calling, if you know what I'm talking about.
You said what now?
I just watched your military ad, the calling, about gay couple, lesbian couple. Do you saw that?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Do you saw your United States military ad? It's called Calling.
Oh, so it was a commercial that came on. Like, what was it like during the video that you're watching now?
I watched it like a few hours ago, and I just read the comments, and everybody was like...
Oh, I'm sorry. It hung up on him. But I didn't do that. I promise. My hands are right here. I didn't do that. So I think he was trying to talk about a commercial that he saw before. And it was a lesbian couple, like a military commercial featuring a lesbian couple. I think that was what was going on. Wow, we come a long way from Don't Ask, Don't Tell, huh? From Don't Ask, Don't Tell to Tell Everything, Tell All. All right, let's go to the next one. All righty, man, what's going on? Hello, can you hear me, friends? Okay, I can't hear you if you're talking. I'm gonna try to come back to you, boss. 704 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, my name's Mike.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Man, I appreciate you taking my call. So I'll be quick. I need advice. You can't hear me?
Okay, what you're doing right now, turn your speakers off in the background for me, please.
I don't have any speakers
Okay,
on.
just
You can't hear me?
turn the stream off in the background. Don't talk to the stream just talk to me on the phone because the stream is delayed, so you can't watch that at the same time when you're talking to me on the phone. So turn that down or off and talk to me on the phone.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you perfectly fine.
Is that any better? I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's all good. So what's going on?
Can you hear me now? All right. So quick, I'm looking for advice. So were you never worried about backlash? Just I want to take on this voice, but I'm terrified of how it's going to affect me. So my question to you is, this was never a thing for you? Like you were never worried about how this was going to affect you long term?
I mean, not really, because I feel like at that place when I came out as conservative, at that point I didn't even really care too much because I already, it was kind of a gradual process anyway, and I was kind of pretty much I've always kind of been the kind of guy to walk to the beat of my own drum, so I didn't really care, and I care even less at that point in my life, and I think I care just as much right now. So it doesn't even really matter to me. I'm not really driven by how others operate and move. I'll do my own thing regardless. That's how I've always been. And at that point, I was even more like that. So it didn't matter. I was taking the risk because at that time also, I was gonna become a firefighter, and I knew all the risks. I knew that I could have a heart attack in my 50s and be dead. I knew I could die in a fire. Okay, that's just risks in life that you take. I don't wake up every day thinking the bad thing's going to happen. I know that there could be a thing that happens, but I know what I couldn't do. I couldn't live my life knowing I did not take risks, and I tried to play everything too safe to where I never got anything accomplished. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not really a risk-averse person, so I wasn't really concerned about it. And really, go ahead.
That's helpful for me. I'm a little older than you, and so let me frame this up. And then first, I'm just grateful to talk to you. So I'm older than you. I'm a white guy. I grew up where you grew up, sort of. I grew up in Virginia, but Western Virginia, the Appalachians. So, but I, even though I'm white, I pledged a black fraternity. I spent a lot of time in hip hop culture. I have a lot of black friends, lifelong friends.
Would you pledge? Would you pledge?
Man, I was trying to be all anonymous. I'm an alpha, so
okay.
But my point is this: I don't want to alienate people that I've loved for 30 years, who love me for 30 years, and I'm scared to talk today. 10 years ago, this was not my problem, but now I have ideas and thoughts and things that I want to say that I believe will move the community forward, that just don't fit the narrative, and I'm worried about losing friends, and at the same time balancing that out with the risk of just feeling like, well, how authentic am I if I'm not saying what I really believe? Do you understand my question?
I understand you 100%, man. I know. The thing about it is you may lose some friends. That's going to happen. I lost some friends. I lost family members too. But it didn't really matter at the end of the day because it's not a zero-sum game. It's like you're going to gain more than what you lose. If you're out there living your life the best way you can live it, living in an honest way, you'll be able to gain more than what you will lose. And really, if you're not being yourself or you're not being true to you will have an unhappy life because you know you're just being this way for other people to accept you, but you got to be able to accept yourself every day. So don't worry about what others do and how they react. Worry about how you feel about your own self. When you get up in the morning, you look in the mirror, you could be like, you know what? I'm myself. I'm an authentic person. I'm not trying to harm anybody. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I'm just being me. So I say just have confidence in being yourself. As long as you're not trying to attack people or disrespect people just for no reason, you're just being yourself. Go for it, man. Do your own thing, man. Don't worry about losing people because you be with the game.
I appreciate you, ABL.
No problem.
All right, bye.
Yeah, man. Like I knew that when I became more conservative, I would lose people, but I knew I didn't really care. I didn't really care about gaining at that point because it was more about me just being me, period. Not about anything else. Because I can't act a certain way just for this friend over here that I'm trying to hold on to. Because sometimes you lose friends. Even if you are what they say they want or how they say they want to be, they want you to behave, you might lose them anyway. That's just life, though. 304, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up?
Ain't too much. What's going on?
Oh, not too much. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, it's all good, man. Can't complain.
I'm in West Virginia. My name's Dan.
All righty. Coming from West by Guide. What's going on?
No, nothing. I'd like to talk to him if he wants to talk for a minute.
Well, I'm on the line right now. This is me speaking to.
Oh, it's you right now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good, man. What's going on?
My name's Danny.
All righty, Danny. What's going on? What's happening?
I'm from West Virginia. Nothing. Just want to talk, see what's going on, man. How you doing?
Hey, man, it's all good, man. You tell me what's going on. What's on your mind?
Love your show and love the information you put out, and just want to touch base with you and see how you're doing, man.
Man, it's all good, man. Can't complain at all. Everything's going pretty well.
What do you think about the that one bill that's getting ready to pass, or they're going to try and pass?
Which one?
It passed the House. It has to pass the Senate too, right? Though.
You talking about the $1 trillion bill?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like they were going to try to pass something because it could have been worse. It could have been $6 trillion, like Bernie Sanders wanted. It could have been 3.5.
I live in West Virginia, and Manchin is our senator, so and we had that one shitty. Sorry, I cussed, but that congressman that voted for it.
Yeah, I understand, but I don't know. I mean, it could have been worse. I put it to you like that. The spending is a little bit too much, but it could have been it could have been triple the size, or much more.
It's not totally passed yet, though, right? It has to pass the Senate too, right?
I believe so. I'm not exactly sure where it's at right now. I think it just passed the House. Yeah.
Yeah, it just passed the House. It has to pass the Senate too, I think, too. But yeah, it's going to be a mess if it does.
Right on.
Either way, we're going to have higher utility bills, higher prices for all of our goods and services. Either way, I think. I think we're all going to be screwed.
Well, hopefully not. We'll see. We'll see what happens here.
I worked at Amazon for 2 weeks, and I cashed out. I couldn't take it, man.
What were you doing? You working in the warehouse?
Yeah, it's the biggest one in the country. It's just right up the road from me, like 20 minutes up in Pennsylvania. I live in West Virginia, but it's 1.4 million square feet. There's forklifts zipping around. When you go to pick stuff to fill the orders for what you get this little scanner, and it tells you where to go. You sometimes go 4 stories up in the air.
Oh wow!
And you're lifting heavy stuff up off the shelves, and you're lanyard in. Like you got a full body lanyard on. You're all shelved in.
Right.
But still, man, that kind of thing is kind of scary and intimidating. When that thing starts rocking, when you reach over and you grab something real heavy, and then you try to reach it over into that basket.
Oh yeah. That could be. Right.
It was very stressful, man. I couldn't take it.
I hear you, man.
Quit.
I hear you.
I couldn't do it. And I've worked hard all my life. I was a landscaper for 15 years. I'm not a lazy guy.
Right.
I dug ditches and and built retaining walls 15 feet tall, 90-pound brick. I'm not a lazy guy.
I hear you 100%.
But that wasn't for me, man.
Right.
But I enjoy your content, man. You're a great guy.
Well, thank you for the call, man.
Where are you at in the country? Where are you at in the country?
I'm in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So I ain't
Not
too far
too
away
far.
from you. Yeah.
It's getting cold fast, man.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. But
It was 27 here today. It's going to warm up a little bit here. I guess like 40s for the lows and then 60s for the highs.
Right.
But it's been getting cold here fast.
I got you, man. Well, thank you for the call, man. I got a few more on the line I got to get to. Thank you for your call. I appreciate you.
Hey, that's cool, man. No worries.
All right, now take care.
God bless you, brother.
All right, shout out to my man Dan the man from West Virginia. Shout out to him. Hey man, getting cold, man. Get your coat, get warm. All right, friends, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Let me mute you here. How you doing, ABL?
Oh, everything's great, man. Can't complain.
Good. Yeah, I'm calling because I wanted to talk a few topics. Nothing too long. You were mentioning the other day in a video. I don't remember the video, but you were mentioning that even if there have been therapeutics and other drugs for combating COVID, you were asking like why they keep pushing for the vaccine. You recall about that?
Yeah, because there's not just one way to fight this thing. There's other therapeutics. You have HCQ, IVM, zinc, et cetera, correct. Vitamin D, vitamin C, rather than just this one drug they want to try to put on us.
Even the sun, even taking sun.
Right, the sunlight is going outside for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is that I don't know if you know. I don't know if you have seen that a Pfizer contract was leaked.
A Pfizer contract leaked?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Okay, I sent you some tweets with information, but I was reading the information, and there's a clause in there that says basically that even if you find another measure to treat, you gotta keep pushing for the vaccine.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep, and the government is under, and if you for what I understand that I read, if you the contract, if the government buys, quote unquote, buys like 10 million vaccine shots, they had to give them away. Like, well, you gotta get the vaccine because we are under contract.
Wow.
Okay. The other thing is that I want to let you know, and the people watching, that there's a website called Open VARS. Okay, it's Open VAERS. I don't know if you know about that website. Basically, it's a website where you can see the vaccine adverse event reporting system. Okay, so you can see the different problems that the vaccine has. Okay, adverse events that happen, but the website also provides not only saying like heart attack or death. Okay, it also provides like the information, like say the patient happened to have this situation and that problem. It also provides like the report of what happened. Okay, it's a good website for information. Okay, it's a little bit scary though when you start reading that.
Oh yeah, it definitely will scare you because some of those numbers on there, it gets a little nerve wracking.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. I mean, one thing is to randomly taking COVID. The other thing is going and putting a needle in your arm. You don't know what's going to happen. At least you know, for the most part, you know what will happen with you if you get COVID. Okay. But the randomness of the vaccine, well, that's something to consider. And talking about the vaccine, so that CDC, the CDC director, she said like, well, we can't consider fully vaccinated with the 2 shots. Now it will be considered the booster, right? But then in that case, it will be forever. Like you have to get a booster every year or every 6 months, basically, to be considered fully vaccinated. And I'm like, okay, so you're gonna keep putting that inside you until what? Until I'm thinking about the kids.
Yeah.
Okay, or children. Okay, so you as a parent have to think this. You're gonna keep putting the needle into your child's shoulder until what? Until the poor kid falls into the floor, start jumping as a fish out of water. Okay, yeah, I know I put it in funny because the option will be, like until your child is no longer with you. Okay,
Right.
right. That's I'm like, okay, so this gotta be taken in consideration because I don't like this. I don't like this. Like everything's wrong. Otherwise, you can't have a job. You can go to concerts. You can go into restaurants. You're like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
It is.
Okay. Okay. And for last, because somebody's been tagging me, like, shout out to the Discord server and shout out to Strips. Okay, my brother. We know each other for a long time. And that's it. Thank you for taking my call, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Okay. Good night.
That's a very good point that he made about the vax. It's like, at what point, how long do we mandate this? Or do some places mandate this forever in perpetuity? Because they say, oh, well, you have to have the booster to be considered vaxxed. So how long do we keep that up? 419 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Tim from Wapakoneta, Ohio, first on the moon.
All righty. What's going on?
Hey, I'd say like about 15 years ago, I come up with the idea that I thought that the reason why the Democrats are so big in letting the illegals come across the border is because we have a Social Security problem. We have a government deficit problem. They need more people to keep paying taxes into the system because the baby boomers are going to start dying. What's your take on that? You think there's any validity to what I'm saying, or am I missing something?
I mean, it kind of makes sense to me because at a certain point, you got to keep the engine going. So it kind of makes sense.
And General, with the deficit, when do you think it's going to blow up on us? 50 trillion, 60 trillion, 70 trillion? Do you think we can be 100 trillion and keep doing what we're doing?
I just don't really understand how we even here and still continuing, quite frankly. I think that the blow up point is kind of far past us. I think what's happening now is that China's kind of like trying to overtake, and the more we get into debt, the more they're able to gain leverage. So that's going to be what happens. I don't think it's going to be a matter of blowing up necessarily as far as like, the world comes crashing down. I think it's a matter of other nations trying to surpass us. That's what's going to end up happening if we keep on going this way.
I agree with what you're saying. China's going to be a big problem here in the future.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of China, it seems like the Democrats have sold access to the United States, and to China, which is a huge problem.
Oh yeah, it's been going on. Like, what do you mean? Like, as far as the companies they buy, like Smithfield Foods that China owns, or some of the land that they own? Like, what do you mean specifically?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah.
Well, you got the Hunter Biden deal where Biden family's getting hundreds of $1 million of donations, and so they got to, you're just not going to get that money, not give anything, so you have to give access, like you're saying, let China buy corporations and land and all that type of stuff.
Oh yeah, they definitely have influenced our social media space with TikTok. That's China as well. Trump tried and stop that because he understood what was going on, but he was unsuccessful ultimately.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's unbelievable where we're at right now. I can't believe it. But hey, man, I appreciate you taking my call, man. It was good to talk to you, ABO, man. I love your program. You always have a good take and everything, and it's a real pleasure to listen to you.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All righty. We got quite a few more calls on the line. Let's get to these as soon as we can. And let's go back to 790. Hold on. All righty, 790, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah. Hello. I called before and talking about military ad. If you remember me.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, and the phone hung up.
So I want to get straight to the point. As I saw, people confused about why they even do this, why they put this ad in first place. Like, the backlash is obvious. People don't like it. And I saw many comments which say, like, I don't want to join the U.S. military after I watch this ad. And this is why they do this, because this ad is appealing to woke mob to walk people to the leftists, because if any insurrection happens in the United States, like it was on January 6th and something like that, they want so military gonna be people like in military, a lot of woke people in the military. This is why they do this. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're trying to attract. They're trying to attract wokeness to the military. That's what's going on with the ad.
Yes. This is what I am trying to explain, because they are already do this to the FBI, to the CIA, and now they try to do it to the military, because in the military are still a lot of like basic people who are not gonna take the shots and things like that. Who are very, they vote mostly for the Trump, the military, if I remember it correctly, and they try to fix it. They want to bring as much wokeness into the military as they can. Because from my perspective, like some kind of conflict in the United States going to be in the future is obvious, because the country is too divided. I'm not living in the US, I never been, but as a person who like very poorly speaking English, I still see this. It's like obvious. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I want to say.
Well, thank you for your call. I appreciate you.
Let's go, Brandon.
All right, let's go, Brandon.
Goodbye.
All right. Shout out to my man from Russia. Talking about the woke military ad. If you didn't understand what he was saying, a little bit of context. There was a military ad that had a lesbian couple on it. And clearly they're trying to attract woke people into the military because they'll be more compliant. Ultimately, that's what it really goes down to. Oh, okay, we got to get a vax. Sure, no problem. But you want to have LGBT, X, Y, and Z in the military? Sure, no problem. That's kind of when it goes down to, really, at the end of the day. And people in the comments were like, well, I'm not going to join the military. I don't want to do this. But see, maybe they're trying to turn off some of the regular normies and turn on, not in a weird way, but attract some of the irregulars, put it to you like that. So the irregulars got to go. 773 on line, I'm speaking to.
Hey, ABL, if you can't tell by my gruff voice, this is your Chicago police officer friend.
All righty, man. What's going on? Likewise.
Yeah, number one, one of the officers, the Chicago police officers that were actually put on a no-pay status for not going into that portal, he's come out from the shadows. There's a small, like 1.5 minute news article. It's on YouTube. And what he said was he was in the military for about 8 years or something. And now the military has called him to let him know some of those vaccines that he got when he went over to Afghanistan and all those other places that they always shoot you up with may have had an adverse effect on his health. They're now reaching out to those military people that got that vaccine and letting them know, hey, this may have had an adverse effect on your health. And what he has said on the news is this is why he doesn't want to get this vaccine, because he doesn't want to have somebody call him 10 years down the road and maybe have a health problem, which that's exactly the whole thing. I don't think it's been researched enough, you know, to the long-term effects or even maybe the short-term effects. Another thing, I get, you know, I'm an AARP member. I get their magazine. In this month's magazine, there's a bunch of articles on health, and there's one which is disgusting what they were saying about, it's written almost like a fairy tale. It says Fauci's sitting on his porch and, you know, drinking a coffee, and then the head of Pfizer calls him and says, we did it. You know, we found a vaccine and it looks promising and all this. And, you know, they were saying that the vaccine is supported by years of research. Yeah, the research is that messenger RNA, mRNA, messenger RNA, they've been researching that for cancer drugs. That's only a delivery system. They use that messenger RNA to put the different cancer drugs which haven't worked. Now that's what they've used for this vaccine. The vaccine goes to your messenger RNA and it blocks something in the messenger RNA so that your immune system kicks up when actual COVID comes in. They don't know what it's going to do to you. They really don't. It works for some people, but not for others. What does that do to your immune system long term for other diseases? All these questions that are there, I don't think they know, but they like to cover over the fact by just saying this is proven safe, so why don't you get vaccinated? It's ridiculous. Look what's happening in society. Everybody, give it to kids, give it to all workers. Now every business that has 100 workers or more are going to have to be vaccinated. It's completely ridiculous.
Right on, 100% correct.
Well, ABL, I love what you're doing, what you're showing, everything else, and I love calling into you and getting your opinion and watching all your videos that I might have missed. Great information on there, really is.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, talk to you later.
Yeah, great point about the military because the thing is, these vaccines make you go to Afghanistan and whatnot. Oh, it's all good right now when I'm taking it, but then 10 years later, you may have had complications from X, Y, and Z. Call 1-888-X-Y-Z to put in your claim for a class action lawsuit. You might get $5 in the year 2075. Call now. That's how they do. All right, Tariq, what's going on?
Hey, man, what's going on, bro? I just want to say, shout out to your state, man. Your state may be the start of the red wave, bro. And the thing is, man, I hope Democrats are waking up to how stupid that their politicians think they are. I mean, it's just amazing to me that you can still fearmonger about Trump and the man is not even elected, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like I was even watching CNN. CNN is still talking about QAnon. And like my question to you is outside of mainstream media, do you know anyone who talks about QAnon?
No.
Exactly, bro. This is some mainstream media fear-mongering fairy tale, bro. I don't know any Trump supporter on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere who talks about QAnon. So yeah, bro. This is showing that the Democrats have nothing to offer their voter base, and even to one of the biggest voting blocks, black people, because they were saying that black people did not come out. In support, I forget that guy's name, McCuffey, whatever his name is. Black people didn't come out support that. So, and he's even won over those little suburban moms. Now, here's my fear with this, man. They were saying things like, Youngkin kept Trump at arm's length, and this is showing that the Republican Party should not rely on Trump to win elections, and should kind of distance themselves from Trump. What do you think about that, man? Do you think that's a true statement, or are they just trying to throw more salt on Trump's name?
I think they're trying to send a message that you shouldn't be like Trump. They don't want that Trump energy to be there. I think that's really what it's about. It's not even really about Trump being there or not. It's about they don't want anybody that has that kind of energy coming in. But that's probably the wrong way to go because you don't have to be a clone of Trump. That's probably not even a good idea because of how he's controversial. But you got to have some of that energy to just not do the same exact thing as everybody else because that's not working. You got to go and try a different strategy. If you keep losing, let's try to win.
Exactly, bro. The thing about Trump is Trump actually fought for some conservative ideas, and he's strong on the culture war. And the thing is, what I fear is that we're going to get these Mitt Romney type Republicans, like it's going to be the return of the rhino, where we kind of diss Trump supporters, or we just don't fight for conservative things. We just say little buzzwords like keep CRT out of the schools, but then when we actually get elected, we do nothing. And that's what I hope the Republican Party doesn't turn to. I mean, it's good that Youngkin won, but it's just this narrative about not, Trump really didn't play an effect. That worries me because, man, my thing is I want us to clean house of rhinos, man. You know what I'm saying? I want Mitt Romney to leave. I want what's her name? Liz Cheney. I don't want these Republicans to think that we're gonna go back to just this do nothing party. You know, so yeah, man, that's all I gotta say, bro.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take care, man.
All right, now. Good call from my man Tariq, 100%. Let's keep on rocking here. 682, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Chris. What's up, man?
Ain't too much, man. Turn your stream down for me, please.
Okay, yeah, I just muted it.
All righty. What's going on?
How's it going? Hey, so I listen to your show every day when I'm on my way to work. I work a mid shift, and I'm calling in to. So I work for a federal contractor here in Fort Worth, a major ITAR aircraft manufacturer. I'm sure you know who that is.
Yes.
They build the F-5, and so I started there on October 11th, and day one when I was in orientation, got an email from upper management about the jab, right? So, basically what happened is, not even a week later, all my coworkers, they started running out, getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and like rushing into it real fast. And so the point to it is here, what I'm trying to say is, I hear a lot of people wanting to move to Texas, like they think it's some kind of paradise down here, right? But the truth of the matter is we've got a ton of problems. And we're still behind enemy lines down here. All these corporations that are operating in Texas, they're following all federal mandates. And if you work for any of them, they're going to come out guns blazing against us. So basically, my whole thing is like, it'd be wise for most people just to stay in their own states and try to fight back against this and fix their own states versus trying to come down here. I don't know if that's just some kind of like, internet thing, or people really believe that they come here and it's going to be all, sunshine and roses. But the truth is, these corporations, man, they were real big to jump on Greg Abbott's order when he put, the mask mandate in place and put all of us in masks. And now that he's, basically signed an executive order and a mandate saying they can't require a vaccine passport, these corporations are basically just ignoring them. And they're saying, screw you, man, we're gonna follow Joe Biden's mandate. So anyways, that was the point of that story, was just to say, it's really, we still have a big fight ahead of us down here. And so everybody thinks it's like perfect, but I mean, we're going through it just like everybody else is. So anyways, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I appreciate you answering my phone call.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Now, okay, I'm going to respond to what he was saying, because no, it's not perfect anywhere in the world. You're not going to find perfection. I mean, if you're looking for perfection, wait till Jesus come back. That's just being real, not even trying to be funny. However, if you compare Texas to California, there is no comparison. Texas, although imperfect, although not Shangri-La, is an infinite amount of times better than California, infinitely better than New York, infinitely better than other parts of the country where people are still kind of locked down to a certain extent. Vax mandate, they're going to get something to eat. A vax mandate, show your card, papers please. That's going on in New York City. Is it happening in Dallas or Houston or somewhere? I'm not quite sure about that. Your state may not be perfect, but it's most certainly better than other states in the country. That's a fact. All right, so actually that's the end of my show right there. I'm right at 11 o'clock, so I got to roll on out. Thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. I'll be back live again on Wednesday, of course, and I'll be back most likely live on Thursday on Tatum's channel, Officer Tatum, and then I'll be back live again Saturday here. And of course, I'm going to put out pre-recorded videos all throughout the week, Monday through Saturday, usually off on Sunday. But thank you for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you enjoyed what you heard tonight, give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you're listening to me on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether they be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. Please give me a 5-star rating, give me a review, give me a share, whatever you can. I most certainly appreciate you. And let's go ahead and get into the super chats, and then I wrap it on up, put the bowl clean on top. And where did I leave off? Let's look at. Thank you to Chevy for your donation. I appreciate you. Thank you to the anti-view who says the F is for Pfizer. The anti-view also says I survived the trandemic. Shatforth V says read San Francisco by Michael Schellenberger on how to stop the drugs. It ain't the way the U.S. left is doing it. Thank you to Uranium and somewhere who says the managers of California state workers are discussing staff vaccination status, opinions on the vaccine, and how to remove the non-vaccinated staff or those with opinions that differ from the narrative. Butt versus Windshield says in some areas of Australia, they get huge fines, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. And if you can't pay, they could take your home to pay for the fines. Yeah, I think somebody was saying that last time. It's crazy. Thank you to Loco Valdez, a.k.a. Richard McCarthy, who says, it all proves Bible correct. The world is messed up. Help one another. Right on. Thank you to Dung is Fun, who says, almost every person that is making money questions the politics. And you should, exactly. Thank you to Cyril Walks, who says, push for the ANCAP movement. I don't know about that one. Thank you to the anti-view who says, pick me ABL. What the vaccine does is nothing, not a single thing. It does not prevent you or them from getting or giving neither. Thank you to Dung, who says, so it's not a vaccine, it's gene therapy, so which we've had no long-term studies to figure out what might happen. Sonny James, thank you for your donation, says, anyone noticed the mainstream media isn't covering the mass anti-mandate riot, but they went out of their way to highlight the paid protesters at the COP26 and veteran liars. Is all they are. Wow, inveterate liars. Thank you to Eunice for being a 9-month member. I appreciate you. Who says, so happy to be part of the ABL squad. We love you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Shout out to Family 53511 who says, base Russia dude, fist emoji. Laura Catherine says, my super chat came out wrong, ABL. I was saying the way people act at airports and at the concert was idiocracy at its finest. They have no civility. There you go. Thank you to Claudette Garrity for your higher emoji. Sonny James says Jeff Bezos on record saying he wants to replace workers with robots. So that's why he's with the WEF, World Economic Foundation, and Klaus Schwab. I ain't going to say what you called him. Thank you to Nanya Living Life who says, I'm enjoying the live. Thank you. Thank you for being here and enjoying it. Shout out to Maga Maniac for the donation, the Fighting Cat. Shout out to Shreeves who says, my bro, ABO, don't forget about our Sandstorm co-op session with Discord mods. I got my Think While It's Still Legal t-shirt, need that in the hoodie. I'm right on it, boss. And thank you to Jason who says, today I identify as a woman's bicycle seat. Some days it's great, other days not so good when they are meatballs and spandex. Hilarious. Thank you to Tammy F who says, can you imagine how their election would go if they lose to have to post office workers due to a possible mandate? Forget mail-in ballots. There you go. But, the post office, they're exempt, right? They're exempt, ain't they? Because they know they can't, they know they got to keep certain things going. It's so silly. Thank you to Maga Maniac for the #1 emoji donation. Thank you to Zen Christopharian who says, thank you, ABL, for consistently letting those truth bullets fly. The fakers can't stand all the truth. Bless up. And thank you to Python Pro Freak for the keep it up, working out emoji. Appreciate you for that. All right. Well, that'll be a wrap for me. You guys have been a great audience. I'll be back live again on Wednesday. And I'll be back pre-recorded all throughout the week, starting on Monday. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.